What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to CKQ Podcast. I am your host, Clement. And before I introduce the panel, let's do a little housekeeping. What I'd like you to do is hit the like button if this is your first time coming to this channel and subscribe to the channel. And let's introduce the panel. They came in just in time. Look at them. First up on the panel, Black Wall Street, John. What's going on, John? Say hi to the people, your fans.
Hey, what's happening, fans? You can find me at Black Wall Street Trading LLC. I can teach you about trading stocks, trading options. We can just talk about firing your boss. Find me on YouTube, Black Wall Street Trading LLC.
Awesome. Next up on the panel is Kaci, who is muted. Kaci, you're muted.
Oh, yeah, I was muted myself. Right. You guys can find me on YouTube at Kaci YTB and also on IG at Kaci YTB.
Awesome.
And I'm a professional makeup artist and an administrator by profession.
Oh, that's some good stuff. That's good stuff. Good to know. Last but not least, just on time, Stephanie and Natasha from Talk Your Shit Pod. How you guys doing?
How are you guys? I'm doing good.
Look at you guys twinning over there with your orange shirts.
I know, that was by accident.
But shout out your channel.
Our channel is the Talk Your Shit Podcast.
Okay.
We're on Instagram, YouTube, Apple Music, everything.
Our podcast typically drops on Wednesdays. We just dropped one today. We talk everything from dating, relationships, stocks, whatever the case may be.
And I saw you guys had a pretty interesting one about polyamory that just
we did.
dropped.
We actually enjoyed that one. That was very different. We've never had anyone on the show that is actually in a relationship like that.
And we didn't even know it was going to go that way.
Yeah.
We're
into that one. Yes.
Definitely will. Awesome. So now you guys saw the questions. You guys have any questions about the questions before we get started?
Mm-mm.
Awesome. So for the first question of the panel, should divorce be an option when children are involved? Should divorce be an option when children are involved? Kaci, let's start with you.
I knew I could do that. I mean, when kids are involved, it's naturally going to be more complicated, and you're going to want to consider if divorce is really the option or the solution to the problem. But I do believe that, if you can't find an amicable solution to whatever problems you are having, then, ultimately divorce might be necessary. But I don't subscribe to the belief that, once you have children, you should ride it out, you should do it for the kids. I mean, that's really hard because, kids can see when their parents aren't happy, and you want them to have a good example of what a healthy relationship should look like. So I don't believe that you should resort to divorce as the first medium, but if you can come to an amicable solution or resolution, then it might just be the only way out.
Okay. John, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, no. Should divorce be an option when children are involved? Absolutely, it should be an option. Because, there's a way that you should go about it, but you can't stay just because you got kids, because that leaves children are very impressionable, and it leaves lasting scars by y'all arguing all the time, y'all being hyper reactive around each other, and that's going to give them however you are, they're going to respond to that. And there are some unconscious things that goes on that they will actually transfer that energy over into their relationships when they start dating, because they didn't have a good model of what a good relationship looks like. It leads to trust, distrust, mistrust issues. The dynamic in the household gets flipped because one of them start getting the kids to lean toward them, and they end up with a friendship instead of a parent-child relationship.
Preach.
So Stephanie, Natasha. Whichever one go first. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should be an option, especially if like you don't want your kids to see like the toxicity going on, the arguments, the fighting, like the yelling. Like it's not really healthy for them to grow up as that as that being their normal. So if it doesn't work out, I don't see why you shouldn't get divorced.
Yeah, I agree. I think like those kind of like kids see when their parents are unhappy and it reflects on them. Like it'll show and they feel it too, which it'll affect them like you guys said in the future. So I think it's definitely should be an option.
And also, divorce is a business, so support small businesses.
What?
That's good. Natasha, what's up with the bucket hat?
Bucket season. Yeah, that's true. I couldn't get ready. Like I didn't have time to really get ready.
So you're like, screw it. Let me just throw on a bucket.
I'm my bucket hat.
But we here.
I thought you were trying to match with John today. That's what I thought.
Man, my barber messed my head. So I'm just gonna grow my hair out. Like it's messed up. I ain't gonna lie. It's not
My man he got that good hair too,
So I'm just gonna grow it out curly. I'm just gonna let it grow out and be curly.
So it's safe to say you're not going back to that barber?
No, I'm not.
Damn, breaking up with your barber is crazy.
But it's pretty easy because you messed my hair up. I'm done. It's easy. I don't give out no passes.
All right, I'm going to switch things around a little bit. Let's do a quick reaction. I would like to do a quick reaction of this video just because you guys all bored me and had the same answer.
I knew you was going to.
You guys all bored me. I tried to set a good panel, a good question, and you guys all chose the same exact thing.
You got
Embarrassing.
some controversy coming. I promise. I saw those questions.
Yeah, the first one I knew, so I'll go with this video. All right, so if you guys could do me a favor, mute your mics.
Not every mother and daughter is as close as we are. My mum introduced me to the adult industry.
Our OnlyFans is about us, pictures of us dancing, glamour modelling.
There was a lot of negative commenting that my mum's forced me to do it. It did get to me a little bit, and then I thought, they're jealous because I'm making money.
Hi, I'm Jessie Jo.
And I'm Ashante.
We're like a unique mother and daughter. We're both glamour models. I've been in the industry about 14 years. She was struggling to get an interview or a job. And I thought, why don't you do a bit of this and earn some real money?
We started a joint OnlyFans and it's doing very well.
Our OnlyFans is about us. So you've got pictures of us doing TikTok, dancing, naked, glamour modelling.
You go from having not much money to earning thousands in a month.
We make a heck of a lot of money.
What do you guys think so far?
Their accent is tough.
Oh, that's the British, the UK accent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what do you guys think of that mother and daughter doing OnlyFans?
Oh, I'm gonna dissect this to death. So I'll let y'all go. I'm looking at it from a whole different perspective.
Steph, Natasha, what do you guys think? We're gonna finish it. I just want to see what your reaction is so far. What do you think of the video?
I mean, it's definitely different. Like that, I've never seen a mother-daughter bond like that. In that sense.
Oh, you call that bonding, huh?
In their shoes, but like I can't see myself doing an OnlyFans with my mother.
You wouldn't. Your mom wouldn't do that, and I don't even know your mom. I just know she wouldn't.
Yeah. Nah, she wouldn't.
CJ, what's going on, my man?
What's good, bro? My apologies, man. My apologies to the panel.
Nah, you're good, man. You just missed we just started the reaction video, so you're just in time. Gotcha. Casey, what do you think so far?
You're muted.
You're muted. That's gonna be your thing tonight.
That one. It's a big pill to swallow. Like I need a moment to digest that. No, man, like, personally, I couldn't do that. I don't have any kids yet, but I could never see myself doing something like that. Like, but then you got to understand too that when you don't know better, you don't do better. So we are expecting that the mom ought to know better, should be setting an example. But that's not necessarily the case, because sometimes you have these kids who are actually the authority in the relationship between parent and child. Yeah. You know, a lot of these parents are kids themselves. So the expectation is there that the mom ought to know better and should be pushing her daughter in the right direction towards possibly getting married one day. But maybe she's not even married herself, so it's not even important to her if her daughter gets married or not. So
yeah.
You
know. Okay, let's hop back into the video so CJ can have a quick idea of what's going on as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's mute your mics, please.
Money. And I mean a lot of money. You just need to join our OnlyFans. That's when you realise how much we're earning off one person. Once you book us and once you've paid us, you have to come back for more. Oh, you look so cute. I was a single parent, bringing up 2 kids and been through so much. So my daughter, obviously, she's quite protective and we're really close and we don't really hold secrets from each other. She's my backbone and my best friend, so. Oh. If you take.
I support her 100%. Whatever she does, I'm there. And I love her to bits. Oh.
See, I look like a lady there.
She's not a lady now.
Not really, no. Just having a look on Facebook and the negative and different comments are coming up. Here's a nice negative. Who even encourages their own daughter to do such a thing? It's just twisted and sick. Some mothers are just not meant to be.
Makes me laugh. She's basically pimping out her own daughter. What kind of mother would even want their daughter to work as a stripper? For one, I'm not a stripper. And for 2, she's definitely not pimping me out.
I think we need to plan a shoot today.
What are we wearing? It did get to me a little bit. And then I thought...
CJ.
Oh, man, that's sick, bro. That is sick, bro. Like, she needs some real help. Like, I was disgusted watching that. Like, somebody need to call Child Protective Services or something. Like, I feel like that girl, like, I looked in that girl's eyes and I can tell she has been abused. Like, that is sick, bro. Like, that's horrible.
The mother, this right here is a classic case of a mother. She has a personality disorder, like, period.
Have you ever seen the show Smothered?
Nah, I've never seen the show Smothered. I'm just going by the observations from my psychological eyes, and her mom wants to live through her.
Sick.
Her mother is not that attractive at all anymore, and she don't want to let go. She's aging. She's way past her prime, so she wants to keep making money, and so essentially she is pimping her daughter out. And that's the only way that you can really explain this, because, like, if I was a dope boy, and I know a lot of dope boys, they don't get their young dudes. Most of them don't get their sons to go out here on the corner. Period. They want them to do better. Like, this mother, that's all she could probably ever do. And in this day and age, she's not going to do well, but she will do well if she's got this young daughter right here with her, because nobody really wants to see her old self in that bad body. They want to see the daughter. That's nasty. So she's living through her. She dresses like her. They wear the same clothes. There is no parental structure in this relationship at all. The dynamic is like this. The daughter calls the shots. The mother just gets everything ready.
You think the daughter calls the shots?
Absolutely.
No.
Interesting.
If she say I'm not doing the shoot, I bet you the mom will do whatever she needs to do to make her do that shoot. What you say? You heard her mama? She said, "I think we need to do a shoot today." That was like, it was no assertion in that. We got at this time. We need to go do this. Da 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 da. No, she's kind of coaxing her into it. I think we need to do this a shoot today. She knew what kind of mood her daughter was in, and she knew she would be agreeable. They don't show the bad. They only show the good. Man, I'm sure they and the drugs together and everything else. There's other things. It's a dark side to that. You can believe that.
It looked all bad to me. I mean, like you could just see like the young girl had like a blank expression on her face. Like she was forced to beat her. I think it's the other way around, to be honest. I think the mother definitely caused the shots.
Yeah. So
indirectly.
No, I think
indirectly. I see what you're saying, but indirectly. Indirectly, you're right.
Casey, you're still muted. Casey, you're muted. Casey, you're muted.
I can't remember to unmic. Jesus. I think the mom used manipulation
right
on the daughter, and she used it through coercion and loyalty or love. She makes the daughter feel like she loves her, and she's doing all of this because she loves her. So the daughter probably feels indebted to the mom.
Yeah.
She's a single mom. She didn't have a father figure there. So the mom invested all her time and her energy to raise you up. So, you're naturally going to feel like, oh my God, my mom is my everything. She sacrificed so much for me. So I owe her. And there's a codependency relationship that's going on with the two of them, and it's very unhealthy, and it is very, very unhealthy, and to me, just mental.
I think the daughter actually calls the shots. Like, I think her mom is a very trying to please her, trying to seem like the cool mom.
She a permissive parent.
Right. Whatever the daughter says goes, kind of thing. Because OnlyFans is mostly, I don't want to say my mom doesn't know about it, but our generation mostly.
But it's people the daughters age that go on it.
Yeah, exactly. My mom does not even know what that is at all.
Yeah.
So it's I feel like
how to log in.
Thank you, how to create an account or any of that.
Hey, that's the new Facebook.
So I feel but to please her daughter, she's doing all these extra things.
Did the daughter say she was stripping? I don't think she said she was stripping.
The daughter.
She said someone said that reading a comment.
Yeah,
yes. She said, I'm not stripping.
Yeah.
But she dances naked on camera, but that's not stripping. I mean,
it's not stripping. The clothes are gone, so it's not stripping. It's just naked.
I'm just naked on camera. I'm not stripping.
I'm not stripping.
I should look naked.
Stephanie, what do you think? What do you think, Steph?
It's just a different mother-daughter relationship to me. I never seen anything like it. Not saying it's healthy or unhealthy. It's just
what
I'm used to.
What?
I'm not gonna judge someone's parenting style. I'm not a parent. I wouldn't want to be judged when I become a mom.
You can't.
I wouldn't do what she's doing with her daughter. But that's how she chose to parent by herself, and I'm not gonna defend it or be against it.
That's the problem now, because everybody wants to be so accepting and so delusional. That is the problem in this era, that nobody can do anything wrong. What's next? Where do we draw the line at?
You have to be accepting. You have to let people do what they want.
No, some things are bad. Some things are bad. Look where we finna go. Next, y'all gonna be saying we can marry our dogs and we can do all kind of crap. Stop it. Where are we going with this?
I got a real desire to walk down the street naked. Is anybody gonna bag me up on that? I have a right to walk down the street naked.
Do it. What is the problem with that?
I will go to jail.
The law is the problem.
The law is the problem.
But if you decide to do it, that's on you. It's not it's never been done. It's not
that's what you wanted to do with your life.
No. We can't live. Listen, we cannot live in a society where everything goes. It just does not work. A society has to be, humans especially, has to be governed by values You have to be governed by values. Then you need to be governed by laws, because we are not all created equal, and everything is not for everybody. Like this whole inclusionary society, everybody can't be included. There's winners, there's losers, and then there's mediocre people. And if the mediocre people want to be mediocre, then that's fine. But if winners want to win, don't talk bad because they want to win. And if losers want to lose, that's cool too. That's on them. But this whole blending everybody together and making it, that don't work. That just does not work. It puts everybody in a state of dissonance. It just don't work. That is bad parenting. And there's things that come out of bad parenting, like bad kids and who grow on to be toxic human beings. And then it's cool until one of our kids married this toxic person or find this person.
The opposite is also true. You can grow up in a position where you had a bad parenting experience, and now you reflected upon it, figured out, probably went to therapy, like, yo, I didn't really have a normal experience. It was bad parenting from my parents. I'm gonna do better, and you raise better children, or you become a better person because of what you experienced. So
which one is the latter though? Like which one, like statistically, which one is more likely to happen? It really
depends on you.
But I'm going by statistics though. People raising a two-parent, the statistics say that most people raised in a two-parent household turn out to be more successful people in life. So I'm just saying, like, where do we draw the line as a society? Like, we're going to be a lawless land if we continue to head down this road. Oh yeah, mom can do OnlyFans together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
I mean, but technically you kind of need people like that to show you that example, so you can be like, listen, we're going to make this law because of this situation. If this situation would have never happened, then this law probably would have never been made.
Good point.
No, you don't. Because where do common sense come into play? Like, why do we need terrible examples to make things like? Because what's gonna happen in a minute? Like, it's gonna get really it's gonna get really demonic, and people gonna say, "Well, we needed that example for that not to happen." No, like people know we have common sense. People know right from wrong.
Not everyone does. Clearly,
yeah, it's not that common,
and some people learn in different ways.
Okay, give one second. T, you're muted, but I don't know if you're there. Welcome to the panel.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you
sorry about being a little late.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. You're right on time.
There was lots of traffic.
You just made it. Welcome.
Okay. Well, continue.
Awesome. So we're actually just going to finish up this reaction video. It's a lovely one.
Wow.
So so everyone can mute their mics. There we go. That's it. Beauty. What a beauty.
They're jealous because I'm making money and they're sitting at home being keyboard warriors. Oh, I like that. We're not bad people. We're just making a living from selling photos of ourselves.
Latex?
No. It takes a lot of confidence to do this type of work. As long as you've got someone that's 100% behind you, like my mum, you can do anything. Maybe we should go in the hot tub.
What, swimwear?
Yeah, I found mine.
Oh, there's mine.
Hey!
Oh, it's freezing.
That's just a quick shoot, just go up on our OnlyFans.
And it's an insight for you to see what we do on our day-to-day job.
Woo. Here is to us. Oh. I'll always do it until I'm too old. Cheers! I'm probably too old now, but people keep buying my stuff, so I have to put it out there. Champagne is vile. Prosecco is the best. I'd say if you and your daughter can have a bond of trust, you take snaps together, and then if you do want to make money from it, and because you've already got that really incredible bond, it shouldn't actually matter. To the haters,
Do you?
That's it.
Boy, they both solid
It got
fours, if you
worse,
ask
bro.
me.
It got worse, bro. Did you see where the mom cuffed her daughter's breast, bro?
Yes, in the pool. Yeah, and
You're never gonna get me. Like that's just sex. Like what? Like come on now. That's just common sense. I'm man. Come on, bro. That's sick. That's past sick. Now, if a man was on there cuffing his son or something like that, oh, that's nasty. That's vile. He needs to be a pedophile. But
well, that's how he wants to, and then we gonna say social justice warrior. Well, if that's how he wants to raise his son, then let him go ahead and do it. Like that's crazy,
like,
bro.
if we want to cuff his son balls, I mean, they his son's balls. I mean, he made the balls. He put them there. So if he wants to touch this product, he can. I mean, but to be raised like that, that's cool. Daddy cuffed them balls. Come on, man. This is nasty. That's sick, bro. That's sick.
Toya, what do you think?
Oh, that's sick.
I think it's highly inappropriate. I don't think it's cool. I don't want to touch nobody's balls, or I don't want my mom cuffing my little titties or nothing. I think it's because like women, like girl on girl stuff is so acceptable in this society, and a lot of people don't see it as wrong. So that's why I think the people would be like, oh my God, it's a dad doing it and it's a mom doing it. They don't really, even though I agree, incest. I don't think it's cool. I think it's inappropriate, if that makes sense.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
what are your? I want to hear some more from you.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Oh,
At the end of the day,
you're still sitting on that fence.
yeah, at the end of the day, she's going to make her money, or if she quits, she's not going to make money. Like, it's all up to her at the end of the day.
Let me put this to the panel. Do you think that the mom is thinking at all of the understanding of what the daughter is going to have to go through later on in her life doing all that stuff now?
No.
Yeah, they're probably thinking like in the here and now kind of thing. Like, we didn't have money, now we do. Let's keep doing it. If this doesn't work, we'll probably do something else. They're probably thinking in the moment, trying to figure it out.
She don't love her daughter, man.
At all, bro.
That is pure evil, bro. That's pure evil. Like, she's literally prostituting her daughter's body out there, selling photos to men out there. She is trying to the mom realizes she's a solid 3 and her daughter's like a 4.5. So she's trying to sell them pictures and everything like that. Because this is living proof that men will screw anything. So ladies, just because you get a man that'll have sex with you and buy you, it means nothing. Nothing. You have them out here making a profit, and bruh. That's sick, man. Ugh.
Yeah, she's a leech. I'm with CJ.
Yeah, anything to do with love. I don't think that means that she doesn't love her daughter, because everybody's definition of love is completely different, and you don't know what they experience in their life. I do think that all money is not good money, and to some people, any type of money, no matter how they get it, is good, and they are proof of that. They rather have the money has a higher currency value to them than their pride and their morals. So, but I don't think it has anything to do with if she loves her daughter or not.
I don't think she loves her at all. I think she's pure evil to do something like that to a child. That's child abuse.
We don't know her.
It is. But you think about the Kardashians. Look at Kris Kardashian. Everybody praises her.
Evil. She evil too.
She did the same thing.
She evil. She got a demonic spirit too. So I mean, yeah, I don't care who she is. That's evil.
I don't know if it's demonic spirit. Maybe greed. It may be too much emphasis on material things, but I don't think that they don't love the person. They do. It's just their definition or their perception of love is completely different from ours or yours. So it's a little warped. But that doesn't mean that they don't love their person.
So where do so how far are we willing to go when we start to make everything so subjective to the point that nothing has no meaning anymore? It can just be what it wants to be. Like, how far are we going?
It does have meaning, and it can't be what it wants to be. But that's just the wonderful thing is that everybody has their own choice. They can make their own choices. They have free will. So just because we may think that it's demonic or we may think that it's horrible or it's child abuse or anything like that, they're not thinking about it that way. They're not thinking, I don't love my daughter. Then she's not thinking about it that way. She's thinking, we don't want to be broke. We found a niche. Let's exploit it and get this money because I have a higher value of money than my morals and my body and anything like that. It has nothing to do with anything else. That
So if she was underage, would it be any different?
If she was underage, it would be because she would be underage. So then, yes, she would be reporting. But because she's grown,
because that's governed by law, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it doesn't make it to me and you. It doesn't make it any less bad. I'm agreeing with you that it is equally bad. But to say that she doesn't love her child, that's not evil. Correct because you don't know that.
That's I do know that. That's abuse. That's evil.
There are parents that think if she's not gonna do it with me, she's gonna do it with someone else. She's gonna do it with a friend. She's gonna do it by herself, and they're like they rather do it with. There's a lot of parents that do
control over it.
And you don't know their educational level. Like, you don't know if they never went to school. They're not, like, literate enough. They just know how to use social media, and that's it. They're like, okay, I'll just make a quick buck because I don't know how to work or I don't know how to read.
And we're not saying that we would do it. We're just trying to put ourselves in their shoes, trying to figure what's up.
No, I understand. I'm not mad at y'all opinion. I mean,
it can come from a whole line of hoes. And this is their normal. That doesn't mean that they're bad people. It doesn't mean they're evil and going to kill us all. It doesn't mean that she doesn't love her daughter. That could be their normal. So it's not. They're not thinking about it as I'm being evil or I'm being demonic or I have a spirit or anything. It's their normal. They're just trying to get this money.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess get the money by any means. I guess we can all do what we want.
No, we can't. There's consequences to it. There's just because I'm saying that there's not consequences. There's consequences to everybody's actions. There's consequences to the choices. So they're going to have consequences to that. So I'm a firm believer that all money is not good money. So I would never do that. I would never let anybody or be okay with condoning anybody I love or know doing that or anybody in my circle. But for them, they obviously believe that all money is good money, and they're carrying themselves and doing things that go in or align with that.
I mean, I'm not going to speak on the fact if she love him or because I can't tell if I don't know how she feels about her. But this is that dynamic that I mentioned earlier, when there's a mom, a single parent, and it can be a dad or a mom in the home. That dynamic, it kind of flips. It goes from a leader to two people on the same page. It don't work. Like there's a leader and there's a follower. If you're the parent, you're the leader, your child is the follower. Your job is to get them ready to be a productive adult in adulthood, not to relive your youth through your young daughter, because that's all she's doing.
Exactly.
She is old, she's over the hill, and just listen to what she said. Just she told you. She said they say I'm old. So I'm gonna let her. That same thought process. That's just like a Freudian slip. That same thought process. That revealed her unconscious thoughts. The way she said, "I'm gonna let her do it." Same thing. Exact same thing. Her mom was in the adult industry. If you remember the first part of the video,
she's always been. Yeah.
Wouldn't do the adult.
Oh, I didn't hear her say that.
The daughter didn't do. The mom was in the adult industry from the beginning.
So this is her normal then.
This is her normal. And the daughter wouldn't do that. So the daughter, like Stephanie and Tasha said, the daughter put her own game with OnlyFans. She was like, nah, ma, I ain't doing this, but I will do this. Now I'll get out here, you know what I'm saying? I'll show them what you gave me genetically. Okay, well, I'll do it with you if you don't mind. Oh, be cool. I'll grip your little titties and everything.
The mom was like, what? The mom was like, what? I could make some money and I ain't got to do all this? I can just do this? And I don't got to do this? Oh, right.
Well, first of all, she in adult entertainment. She aging out. So, I mean, one, she don't have a choice.
Yeah, she don't have a choice.
I mean, like, come on, knock it off.
They still got G-Milfs now, so she got a shot.
They got what?
G-Milfs. She just don't have the right body.
G what?
G-Milfs.
What is that?
mean, you know what a MILF is.
A grandma.
There you go. There you G-MILF.
I thought it was just GILF.
So wait. They
Yeah.
That's more than us.
Oh no, them ain't those are mine.
So wait, are they paying women, old women, for like porn?
Yeah.
What?
Grandma's
Oh,
gotta
my
get
mama,
it.
yeah, they out there.
CJ, bro,
Oh,
you
my
can
God.
find.
A lot of people are into grandmas. They have
What?
Now, I mean, these are just like, it's just guilt.
Are y'all joking?
It's just,
Are y'all trolling?
Okay.
No, bro. Where have you been? This is 21st century, man. You can find some weird shit. All right, GILF is not even the weirdest. It's just the norm. It's the common.
That's not the weirdest.
About the Mexican donkey
There's some
show.
weird rabbit holes, man.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like I'm gonna be so honest. Like I never got into that stuff because like I was just like the addiction and all that kind of stuff I was told about. I was just told about that at a young age, so I just really never got into that kind of stuff. But that's crazy. I didn't know that existed. Like grandma porn. That's wild, bro.
Yeah,
That's so wild.
There's grandma porn. There's pet porn. There's shit out there. Weird.
That's there's a lot.
and like I said, now so this is where we are, right? We are now at the point where people are having sex with animals on camera and getting paid for, right? This is where we are.
Been on there. You can go see that shit.
We always been there. It's just now
We've always been there. That's true.
Then all of a sudden get to like 2021. You know what? I think I'll start fucking dogs. Like that was already before. That was just like now.
And we are, and people, and it is a petition right now to ban Kevin Samuels when you have people sleeping with animals online and nobody cares. Wow. Okay.
It's not that nobody cares.
Listen, CJ.
We let people do what they want.
Nah, they actually do care.
They get caught. Like they get in trouble. They'll be like,
there's consequences, but none of our business.
But you see how loosely it is? Oh, yeah. You see how loosely it is? Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have sex with dogs. Do what they want. Oh, all right.
What do you want us to do? You want us to stress about somebody else's life and somebody
No, it's not that you stressing. It's not that you stressing, but it's like we don't have accountability as a society anymore. What's next? Like y'all, we open this Pandora's box, and now we gonna lead down. Next is gonna be kids, and people gonna be like, "Well, people can do what they want."
Hey, kids is next.
Worry about you and your kids. Raise them.
You joking and you think you smart? I'm telling you, kids is next. They're already arguing that if a man identifies or a woman identifies as a young child in their mind, then how can you say that this is sick for them to be with somebody that they identify with? Now that's sick. Now, whatever, you take it however you want it, but that's real. Like that's next.
Because there's no lines now. They're erasing every line. There's no boundaries. That's a problem.
Damn.
All I know is I don't care what you identify as. You mess with my child, I'm killing you.
Thank you.
If I can't get no judicial, I'm gonna murder you. This I'm saying it live. I'm telling you. Don't say that again.
We got it. We got it on live. Okay. On the talk of children, next question. When deciding to have a child, your happiness doesn't matter until the kids can fend for themselves. When deciding to have a child, your happiness doesn't matter until the kids can fend for themselves. Stephanie,
I'm ready.
Natasha.
I don't think that's true. If anything, your happiness should matter more because, for example, like if you're happy, you can transmit that happiness to them. They see you sad, you transmit that to them. It's like exchanging energies. So definitely, if you're not happy, even if you're not saying it, they see that, they feel that. So you should definitely aim for your happiness because that'll provide your kids' happiness as well.
CJ, what do you think?
Same.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry.
No, same.
Same?
Yeah.
Say exactly what she just said then.
It's true. I feel like it reflects on the kid. If you're not happy, they see that, they feel it. Like I said earlier, that's important. I feel like your mental health comes first. Getting yourself right, focusing on yourself. loving yourself. Like it all reflects on them. They learn from that. They learn how to do that. So.
Okay. That was almost what she said. Almost. CJ, what's up? Let me know.
I think you need to be very aware and very careful and vet properly and use the women intuition to its full power before you lay up and have a child. Because when you have a child, it's not about you anymore. It's about the child. It doesn't care if you're happy or not. You're supposed to do what you have to do to provide that for that child and to make sure that child gets through life the right way. F your happiness. It's not about you no more. It's about them. It's about the kid. If you want to be happy and be about you and everything like that, then don't have a child or get yourself together first. Point blank, period. F your head. I don't have kids, so I'm doing it for that, and that's the exact reason, because I'm all about my happiness. No, I don't.
I thought that, but continue.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's intentional because I'm all about my happiness. So it is what it is.
Real quick, if you're stressed for like a job or anything, like you're staying at this job or have this career just because of your child, you know, of course you need to make money in a way, whatever. But if you're coming home stressed out, upset, you're taking basically out on them. You know what I mean? You're always a grumpy person. You don't think that affects them in a way?
Of course it does. But again, it's up to you as an adult to make the proper decisions to make sure you don't take it out on your child. My mom had a job that she hated, but she didn't take it out on me because I didn't ask to be here and it wasn't my fault. So make better choices as an adult before you lay up and you have a child.
Some people get raped and that's not their choice and they decide not to abort it.
Now you're going a whole nother direction. Like that's totally different, but that's different than what we're talking about.
How is it different?
Because you're saying because
and now that kid is here, so you're saying that kid is here.
But you're bringing a whole different. You're bringing a whole different caveat into the situation. That's not what the question is.
So you're only under your perfect circumstances then, right?
It said when deciding to have a child. Not when you're forced to have, but it didn't say what kind of circumstances that you have the child. It said when deciding to have a child.
Keeping it still,
but she's deciding. So she's deciding to keep that child because she doesn't want to abort it. So she's making that decision as an adult woman, as you said, and and you're saying, but that's different because she's an adult and she's deciding, but she's not deciding under the right deciding factors.
No, you added in a totally different caveat.
It's totally different.
You said
explain to me. He's an adult.
Because having a child
she's having a child.
Because having a child because you want to have a child versus having a child because you got raped are two totally different things.
What are you talking about? Because she wants to have the child. Otherwise, she wouldn't.
Well, what are we talking about? You are bringing a whole different circle. Like you went to one extreme. You went to a whole different extreme. Okay, Clement. Can we please clarify under the circumstances this woman decided to have a child, please?
When people who have never been in a situation to try to comment their opinions on the situation they've never been in. This is it right here.
So let me ask you this. Hold on.
The situation?
Let me ask you this, Toya. So you think that although even if we don't have kids, we still cannot think ahead and plan out what we would actually do in those situations?
No, you can, but you don't speak in absolute certainty. And the reason you don't speak in absolute certainty is because nobody knows what they will do until they're in that situation. So you can say what you think is the right way. You can say what somebody ought to do and what you think they should do in your opinions, but it's not absolute certainty. And he is speaking in certainty. So that leaves out all room for error, all room for any doubt or any other thing. You can't do that. No, you can't do that.
Yes, you can. You definitely can.
You can. If you want to.
You can. Yeah, you can. Because guess what? You have 200.
Right.
You have over 200.
Let him. Hold on, Toya. Hold on, Toya. Hold on, Toya. Let him speak. You have
200 forms of birth control. Women who don't want to have children don't have them. Point blank, period. Women who don't want to have children don't have them.
John.
Okay, so I got pregnant the first time I ever had sex, and I used the condom. The second time I got pregnant, I was on the depot for 2 years and still got pregnant. Did it absolutely right, still got pregnant. So again,
that don't mean you had it because you wanted to have the child. You didn't have to have the child.
And I was raped. So I am all of everything that you were talking about. And that's why I'm triggered, because I'm like, how are you talking about something you don't know nothing about? And I think that my happiness, me being happy, I'm being the best version of myself. And why would I not want to give my children the best version of myself? Me being just plateau and just walking through life and just sitting here and waiting till my kids get 20 or 80 to make myself happy. What is that teaching them? I lead by example. They see by example, not by what I tell them, not by what I word to them or make them read. It's by what I'm doing, right?
Yes.
So
that's selfish, if you ask me.
Yeah,
that's selfish.
Well, thank God they don't pay you for what you think, right?
Oh yeah, they about to.
All right, hold on. Let John step in. John, step in. What's going on? Talk to me.
Hold on, let me bust in the door. Boom! All right. Here's the thing, man. The child comes absolutely last. Period. The child comes absolutely last. Because you know why? The child can't pay no bills. The child can't feed itself. It can't do nothing. So if I'm stressed out and I die of a heart attack, the child gonna be raised by a complete stranger. Is it better to be raised by a complete stranger or better to be raised by a mama and a daddy? It's better to be raised by one of them that gave birth to them. Because foster homes ain't nothing. They get abused most of the time, 90-some% of the time. So no, the child's happiness, do you know how much it takes to make a child happy? Hardly nothing. We overdo it. A child, why would you throw a $5,000 birthday party for a 1-year-old? This is a thing called infancy amnesia. They don't remember nothing before the age of damn 4 years old. So why does it matter? You get a damn cupcake, put a candle in it, blow it out, take some pictures. That's it. How much did that cost you? $3.75. Maybe. All right? Then you go on these extravagant ass vacations. Damn baby can't even swim. He done forgot now. He can swim the first damn 24 weeks. But now he'll drown, you throw his ass in the water, okay? So what is all that? That's for you. That's for you to be happy. That's what that is. When you're a parent, my boy, you have to know when you got to just step back and take a break. Because I know I got a real bad temper and I got 3 badass boys. You understand? They good, but they have their moments. You understand what I'm saying? So if they catch me just right, that big one, he can get it, all of it. He can get all the stuff. I'm like, what?
So
get him.
We just said,
nigga, this is just assault. This ain't child abuse. It's only assault. That's a $50 bill.
So we just sat up here, and the whole panel pretty much just said it's cool for a woman to do OnlyFans with her daughter. Oh, let them do what they do. But you upset because a man threw a $5,000 birthday party for a kid because they wanted to. It's their money. They could do what they want to do, right?
I ain't said nothing about it. I was with you on that point.
Let them do what they want to do, right?
Right, but we're answering the questions for ourselves. Like, if somebody wants to spend $5,000 on a birthday, do that. Do you? But
the point that I was making, you don't take
hold on, John. Let her finish. Hold on, John.
Happy. The point is that you should be happy because that will reflect on your child.
Exactly.
That's something that they gain, they see, they feel
all of that, bro.
Exactly, and they know how to put that on their child. They know how to pass that down. Mm-hmm.
And they feel it. They feel it. I could come in the house. My daughter is 6. I can come in the house and not say a word and do a fake smile, and she still will know, Mommy was wrong. You had a bad day, even with my fake smile. It's energy. There's no way that you can just turn that shit off because you're a mom now. You're a parent. You can't do that. That's unrealistic and extremely naive to think that you can.
And sometimes that's why
it's a difference between being happy and putting your needs before your child. It's a difference between that, putting your selfish needs. Your child did not ask to be here. You should do the things necessary to make sure that child is taken care of, because as an adult, you decided to have a kid. So it's not about you anymore. It's about the child.
Okay, so when you go on an airplane and the oxygen mask comes down, would you put yours on first or the kids on first?
If I had a child, my child would get it first.
And you would be absolutely wrong. And you want to know why? You have to preserve you. I'm a flight attendant, and I will tell you why.
I don't care.
I would tell you, but your kid would be dead. Your kid would be dead, and this is why. That oxygen mask comes down. You have 10 seconds to put it on. While you're over here putting it on your kid because you keep your saving your kid, you're already in hypoxia. You're already about to pass out. Now, when you do that, like Ron Man said over here, when you do that, who's going to take care of your kid? See, this is the ignorance that people have when they don't have kids, because they don't understand the dialect, the struggle. They don't understand the two balance of it. It's a balance of it. You don't understand that. So that's why you think, oh, my kid is first. My kid is first. No, it is not that way. You are first, because without you, that kid is going to be nothing. Without you, that kid is not going to have nobody take care of him. That kid's not going to teach them. That kid's going to be longing and have emptiness because you are not there. So you have to make sure that you're mentally okay. Make sure that you're not being neglected. Make sure that you are not, keeping yourself from the little things that make you happy. And I'm not saying go out and have your kid in some damn Pro Wings. I don't know if y'all too young to know what that is. And have you walking around in Giuseppe's. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you still have to do the little things to make yourself happy and give yourself joy. It's just like when you're on a diet and you deprive yourself and you're like, no, I'm only going to eat celery and shit for hella long. And then what happens? You cave and you eat all the damn Krispy Kremes because you've been depriving yourself. That's what happens. You can't deprive yourself of anything just because you have a kid. There has to be a healthy balance. And
nobody said deprive it. I never said deprive yourself, man. I never said that.
No, you didn't say that word. You didn't say that word.
I never said it.
You used the definition of it. You didn't say that word.
No. What I said was, if you're going to quote me, do it correctly. I said, don't put your selfish needs before your child, because your child comes first.
We're not talking about needs.
That's not what you said. You said it doesn't matter.
Don't you have needs to be happy?
Hold on. Let Stephanie talk. Stephanie, what were you gonna say?
That I agree with. First of all, T, thank you so much for sharing what you've been through. That takes great.
You're welcome.
Second of all, we're talking about happiness. We're not talking about needs. Obviously, you're gonna have to take care of your kid. They have needs, yes, but we're talking about happiness. As a parent, you become more selfless. Like, you stop thinking about you first. That doesn't mean that you don't come first. That means that you always have your kids in the back of your mind. Like, oh, if I do this, how are they gonna react, or how are they gonna feel? I'm not gonna start this fight with this person on the train because I have kids.
Right.
That's you coming first. That's them coming first. That's them coming first.
About them first, but you came first because you could have gotten that fight, but you chose not.
But you didn't for the kids. That's you thinking of them first.
You probably really want to. It probably sits on your mind at the night. You sitting there thinking in the bed at 11 o'clock at night, like, I really wish I could have popped this bitch, but you didn't do it because of that kid. And you really
you put the kid first.
3 days straight how you wanted to choke that hoe, and you didn't do it.
3 days. That's some therapy. That's what you
That's you putting the kid first, though. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You put the kid first. You want and first of all, T, don't think that I was being insensitive towards your situation. It was just a caveat. It was just a caveat added. I'm sorry that happened to you. Anything like that happened to any woman, that's horrible and terrible.
Facts.
That's terrible. I don't co-sign that one bit. That's sick, and you need to be in jail. But what I am saying is that when you decide to have a child, that child comes first. Use the fight as an example. You wanted to pop the bitch, but you didn't pop the bitch of the potential things that could happen. You could have went to jail. I'm just saying we talking in examples, right? I'm saying we talking in examples. You could have went to jail. You could have lost your child. That is the exact definition of putting your child first. Because if it was you,
hold on. Let him finish.
Because if it was just you, you probably would have slapped the bitch. But since you were thinking about your child, you put your child and your child's needs first. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That kind of happiness. I was thinking about more like mental health, more like, things that you do for yourself, whether you got to go to the gym, or you have to, I don't know, chill in the bath for like an hour, get a therapist.
Maybe the definition of happiness, there's so many different things that can make you happy. So it could be a relationship with happiness. It could be monetary. It could be materialistic things that make you happy. It could be, I think that's where the disconnect is. It's like, which version of happiness are we talking about?
I'm talking mental health. Like, I think everybody should get themselves, like, please themselves happiness with mental health. Like, that is the most important thing. And of course, with everything else, instead of getting yourself some sneakers, you can get your child some sneakers instead. Like, that, I guess, is a different type of happiness, but I don't know.
Yeah, when I gave the example about the fight, I meant, like, as a parent, you become more selfless. I didn't mean like, oh, that's happiness kind of thing. I just meant.
But it would have made her happy to slap the hoe. It would have made you happy to do that, right? So, but
Damn.
you didn't do it because you thought about your child first. The need of the child came before your selfish decision to often slap the bitch. That's what I'm saying.
CJ, I just gotta say, I need a mic like yours just because every time you say slap the bitch on that mic, it sounds like crystal clear. It's beautiful. It's
a high value mic, and I apologize for the cussing, man. But I'm just using their example. So it's a high value mic, man.
Parents have to always preserve. They have to always preserve self because that's what preserves the child. Period.
Yes.
And that's what she did in that situation. She preserved herself. She kept herself from going.
Just like putting the mask on first.
So
I think we're all saying the same thing, but in different ways.
True.
I meant what I said.
Child's needs versus their parents' happiness.
Absolutely last.
Yeah, absolutely last. Like they eat last, all of that.
They eat last. Now that part, but I think. I agree with that. I agree with that. But I'm talking about more so selfish needs.
I'm a softie. I make everybody's plate, and then I sit down finally to eat, and then somebody comes and says, "Can I have more?" And I'm like, "Damn it! I just then I get up and go make
too. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm raising boys. I wouldn't raise a daughter the same way I raise my boys because they're not going to be the same way in society. So I'm raising boys.
When you talk about happiness, though, are we talking about like selfish needs, or are we talking about things to maintain us as a human being? Like, what do you mean?
I mean happiness as in self. I mean no. I mean happiness as in like hobbies. I mean happiness as like I want to hang out with my friends. I mean,
so keeping yourself together, not children's needs.
Correct.
Yeah.
That comes last. Yeah. Your child's needs come first before all that. To me. Yeah.
I think that's where the disconnect is happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I got three kids, bro, and I've been a stepdad before, and I'm telling you, you had better get your mind right. That's all I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Whatever it takes for you to do, other than being an alcoholic or a drug addict, but if you need a break, you better take that break because that's how kids get abused. That's how they get cussed out. Now I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of women, women and men, but you see it with women more so than men because men will be hands on, and some mamas will be hands on. A lot of black mamas will be hands on too. But when you get mad, that's not when you should be trying to discipline your child. You should have did it 16 times ago. Mm-hmm. And you should have been done did it. Like the first time they broke the rule, that's when you introduced the punisher. Because now you just all you're doing is allowing the behavior to go on, and now you ML for this, you stupid little that's worse than slapping.
Yes.
Now if you don't whoop your kids and you cuss them out, you might as well whoop them, my girl, because you that's way worse. That stuff radiates in their mind for years and years, and it kills their self-esteem and everything else. But
can I just ask a question then?
Yeah, hold on, really quick, before you ask that. So keep it in mind, CJ. If you're just hopping in, welcome to CKQ Podcast. The question is right on the screen. If you are interested in commenting on what we're talking about, I'm going to drop the link in the description in the chat. And you could call in and comments to anyone on the panel, to the question, whatever you would like. But you can only comment on one question per video. So choose wisely. All right, CJ, go for it.
My question. Okay, let's just say y'all had a real expensive trip, right? You paid for it. It's unrefundable. Let's say you've been saving for this trip for 3 years. You going to Greece. I like cruises. So let's just say you taking a cruise to Greece, right? And it's a girl's trip or it's a guy's trip or whatever the case may be. The kids ain't going. Let's just say your child gets sick, and I'm talking real sick, but the trip is the next day. Are you going to go on the trip, or are you going to stay home and tend to your child?
That's common sense, man.
That's common sense. I mean, I know it's not common anymore, but that's common sense.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Stay home with the baby.
Right, you put your happiness, but that's what I'm saying.
She got a little cough. Now, if she got just a little cough or something, then she
No, I said real sick. I said real sick.
I think
I say a little cough. I said real sick.
Happiness. We're talking about
Needs. Yes, we'll put our children's needs first, but we won't put our happiness second.
You just put your happiness second when you decided to stay home.
No, it's going to make me happier to make sure my baby's okay.
Yeah, it'll make me happier for my kid to be healthy than for me to go on a cruise.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
So
That's literally the same thing.
So I'm still happy either way. My happiness isn't on hold. My happiness is being fulfilled still because I'm making sure my kid is okay. So nothing is on hold.
I think it's the same thing, honestly. But that was my question, though. Thank y'all for answering. I appreciate it.
Nope. We got a guest coming in. We got
is okay. So nothing is
Maddie.
on hold.
I think
Maddie, can you do me a favor and pause it in the background?
Same thing, honestly. But that was my question, though. Thank you.
There we go. Did you freeze? Maddie, can you do me a favor and pause it in the background?
Same thing.
He hasn't paused it.
Sorry, I had too many things going at once.
So what's going on?
I just wanted to say, I think what everyone is saying is with the you have to put yourself first before the kids thing, is that you can't give what you don't have. If you don't have, sanity and all of this other stuff, you can't nurture a kid correctly. Like, you have to take care of yourself if you're the main one providing in the whole situation. I just feel like an empty cup can't pour. So it's like, what are you giving to your child if you don't have that stuff for yourself? And I think what John is saying is something that Dr. Jordan Peterson says a lot, and I'm obsessed with this man, but he's just saying that parents, there needs to be two parents, because when someone is pissed off and angry or in a different state of mind, you can't parent correctly. So that's when the other one can step in. So I think that I get what you're saying, CJ, but I think it's kind of missing the point, because it's like, yeah, you take care. No one's saying you're not taking care of your kid and not respecting them and doing the things that you need to do to keep them alive. But I think everyone is saying that if you're the sole provider, how are you going to be able to give to your child if you're not doing what you need to do for yourself? And I think
can I respond to you?
Hold on.
Yes.
I think she had a little bit more.
I have one more point, and then I'm gonna listen. But I think like a prime example of somebody completely over smothering their child would be, have you guys ever seen that show or that movie, The Act? When that mother was so obsessed with her daughter and like always putting her first, and then the mother got crazy, and then she, was getting sick.
Was it called Munchausen syndrome or something like that?
I feel like that's like the extreme of putting your child first. And I know you're not talking about the extreme, but I think I don't know. Like, I think that you just need I would rather have it the other way than that way. But I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna let you talk, CJ. I like that. And it's good to see all you guys.
Thanks for coming on.
But you can respond. I'll be listening, CJ.
Well, only thing I was gonna say is that other than the circumstances of being the R word of that happening, where is the accountability that we take for two adults that willingly lay down and make a child? And people say, well, it's one provider. How come us as people cannot be more intentional and hold more accountability? It's not hard to do. I've been with a bunch of girls, and I've made the conscious decision to not have kids because I knew I was not financially ready. So we always talk about, well, I don't have this to give, or it's a single provider home or something like that. Why can't we just build ourselves up enough? And they say, I know you can never be really ready to have a child, but I tend to disagree with that. I'd rather have a child making $200,000 a year or $100,000 a year versus making $20,000 a year. Where is the accountability in all this? Besides being the R word, besides that, because that's under some stuff you can't control. I get that. And I'm sympathetic towards that. But where is that accountability? Where is it?
I mean, what if you can't never make $200,000 a year? You just can't have kids?
I'm not saying that.
Hold on. Before you guys go, Mass King, what's up, man? Thanks for coming to the panel.
Yo, what's going on?
What's up, MK? How you doing? What's cracking, MK?
Good to see everybody. Yeah. Listen, this is the thing. You have to have a healthy balance as an adult, no matter what you do. And especially when it comes to kids, because the thing is that you don't want to traumatize that kid. You don't want to traumatize them or damage them, or have them resent or hate you. So you want to have a healthy balance with them and within yourself. So you're making sure that you're making time for your kid, but also making time for yourself as well as the things that you love. You know what I'm saying? If you do that, then, you won't be stressed out. The kid will feel safe. They'll feel loved. They'll feel, that that you are basically raising them the right way, because not only would you give them consequences of discipline, but you have to reward the kid as well. You have to build their self-esteem. I remember one time I was having trouble in my academics. I was having trouble reading in the first grade, and my grandmother, just by her instilling confidence in me, and just by her just always saying, "Hey, you're doing great, Max King. You're doing wonderful. You know what I'm saying? You got it. You can do it." So I went from not being able to read in the first grade to having the second highest reading score in the state of New York. You know what I'm saying? So if it's possible, it's definitely possible if you instill greatness into that kid, if you instill love, discipline, and morals into that kid. But you also have to take a break for yourself. You got to go on vacation. You got to do the things you love to do. You got to get out and live your best life, because if not, then you're going to hate being a parent. Because you're going to feel like, man, this kid has ruined my life. And they ain't ruined your life. They ain't actually be here. You know what I'm saying? You the one that made the decision to have a kid. Now they're here. Now what you going to do with it? You're going to live your life and continue to live abundantly, or you're going to allow the situation to stress you out. So no situation in your life should bring you to the point where you're actually losing your mind. You should always have a healthy balance no matter what's going on, especially if you made a decision to make a life-altering decision. And that's it.
Hey, I got a question.
Go for it.
Bro, when can we see you? Because like you always wear that mask. You running from the fans or something? Like,
Great question. Great question.
I was all excited when I got his Instagram, and I was like, "I'm gonna see a picture," and I went and was like, "No post."
No picture.
I was like,
You like a CIA operative?
We're all wondering. We're all wondering.
He running from child support.
I'm out of
The child support, boy, they worse than the feds.
I'm
almost as bad as IRS.
I'm old child support, if anything. I don't owe nobody no child support.
Cause like everybody dying to know. I just want to know. He teased us a little bit with the half mask, and then he came back the next was like a bumblebee.
A full on ninja mask.
Full on ninja. I'm like,
look,
yeah.
Even knowledge relationship question too, all right?
Yes, let me shout out my platform too. Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. Please check us out, along with the Great M3. That is the creator and the person that's definitely on Knowledge and Relationships. I am the network manager for Knowledge and Relationships, and you can catch me on Mass King 7720.
Totally ignored the question.
You'll see me when you see me. Mass King 7723 on Instagram. Thank you very much, y'all. Have a great night.
All right, you too. Thanks.
When I said the child's happiness comes first, I didn't mean, and maybe I should have said that from the beginning, I didn't mean that you totally neglect everything that you do for yourself. But what I am saying is that their needs are more important than yours. Yeah, that should be a balance. And I think MK said it perfectly. But I'm not saying that you just throw everything you do away, but it is second priority once you decide to have a child.
Happiness. No, I agree. Their needs are more important. Yes. My happiness is non-negotiable. 2 different things. So my happiness is not more important than their needs.
I think we need to. I think you have to define then what happiness and needs really are then, because I think that's the confusion.
I think that's a whole different panel, my man.
Exactly.
For this panel, we're gonna move on to the next question. Okay.
Let's get past it.
Which should children have a say in who their single parent dates?
Hell no.
How old is the children? Like, how old is the child?
Yes, that's important.
Hold on. Let's let John start it off.
No.
Period. This is
No,
it.
serious. Okay, let me ask you this. Do y'all let the children drive the car?
Yeah. My kids are 23 and 21, so.
No, he said children. Those aren't children. Those are grown. I get you, but when they say children, when you refer to
okay, you mean like what age?
Adult children.
Okay. What age are you talking, CK? Like man child or?
No. We're talking like let's just say
what age?
18 and below.
Okay, my other son is 14 and my daughter is 6, so we'll go with them.
All right, so we're gonna let somebody who does not know shit from Shinola decide a life decision for us because they don't like the guy's shoes. They don't like something about him. Like they just don't want you. And little boys, I'm guilty of this. I was saying, I'm my only child. I don't like the way he looked at me. He looked like he might be dangerous. She would run with that shit, and that was it. That dude, I'll never see him again. So, and I like that, but I was being bad. I was jealous. I didn't want nobody talking to my mom. And I was like 12 or 13 years old doing this crap. So no, they should not. They can't make good decisions. They need to worry about making decisions for them, stay in the child's place. That's where they belong. Because you should they should trust you enough to whatever you decide to do, you're going to protect them and they don't have nothing to worry about at all. If you decide to let this person into your life, it's going to be somebody that needs to be in y'all life because you're going to vet that. You're the adult, you know. If you start letting your child get in there, you're going to get confused. The child is not looking at the same thing you're looking at, nothing whatsoever, period. Now, if your child finds something find something that's worth it, yeah, but that's not going to be my go-to. I'm not going to ask hey, what you think about her? Think married. Well, yeah, Dad, if you like her, what the hell you think you're going to get? He's going, well, what are her values? Is she a high value woman, Daddy? Because you know kids like, you might need to go back to the gym, Daddy. I mean, come on, man. They don't know what to say. No, how they shouldn't decide.
Toya.
I don't introduce anybody. My younger kids, my two other ones, they're out living their best life. My two younger ones, I don't introduce anybody unless I've been with them. Like we've been in a monogamous relationship for a very long time. Usually my rule is a year, so I haven't introduced them to anybody.
But you're almost about to skirt around the question. No.
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
I was going to say, with that said, I do take their opinion into consideration. I don't want to be bringing around somebody that they would feel uneasy around or they would feel some type of way. And I don't know if that's the right choice or not, but that I made that choice off of personal experience with my mom dating. So when I didn't like somebody, it was a good reason why I didn't like somebody. And I think that my children are smart enough that they wouldn't try to manipulate me and be like, oh, I don't like him because, his J's is scuffed up. Like they would have a legitimate claim to why they don't like him. Now, if my 6-year-old said it, I might not be too apt to listen to her. But if my 14-year-old said it, I would take heed to what he said. Now, it's not going to be my deciding factor, but I would definitely take his feelings into consideration. If that makes sense.
CJ.
That's the only I go though.
I mean, now we went from the people that have kids. Now we're gonna see the without kids and see how we're thinking, what our thought process.
You don't know yet. You gotta think.
I can only go by what I've experienced. So, first of all, I have a stepfather. He's a great man. But my mom would always ask me, has he ever done anything to you? Has he ever been inappropriate to you or anything like that? So she valued what I had to say when it comes to that certain aspect. Now, as far as not going to the extreme, should children have a say? I don't know. That's not my realm. I don't deal with women with kids. I've never, what I'm saying? Like I don't have a kid, so I don't know. But I'm guessing maybe in that era, I can't be absolute in that. Like if he's not inappropriate towards the kid, but the kid just don't like them. I don't know how that dynamic will work. Me personally, I just, because I'm a big advocate of peace in the home. So I don't know at that point. I don't have really an answer on that for that particular question.
Man, hell.
That was shocking.
Yeah. Like if he not touching the kids, if he not being inappropriate, then I think everything else is up to the two adults. Like if I had an answer, but like I really can't answer that because I've dated a woman with a child before, but like I don't have kids, so I don't know.
Okay. Natasha?
I don't have kids either, but I do think a conversation should be had. Like they should, if a kid is saying something, you should listen to them. Because, I feel like if you don't, it'll affect them in the future in a way. Like if you don't listen to like their feelings or what they're trying to tell you, they can't come to you with other things aside from that. So I feel like a conversation should be had. I have a stepfather that's amazing, but of course before him, my mom was dating. But she was always very like careful, bringing men around us, which I love that. I love that she didn't just bring anyone, because I can't, I would have a whole different perspective of my mom. Like I'm like, she used to be out here.
She was for the streets.
Right. But I don't. So I love that she took her time. But I do think I would have a conversation with my kid, or I would listen to them. Why don't you like him aside like from his sneakers or his style? And I listen, don't worry about it. Yeah. Other than that,
Stephanie?
Yeah, I agree with Natasha and T. I feel like your kids' voices is very important, and if they feel comfortable enough to let you know, like, hey, some things aren't adding up, like, you should take heed. I don't know if you are all familiar with the Dirty John story.
Dirty John, that was such a good, that was really good.
So, like,
that was good.
The mom definitely didn't take heed to what her daughter was telling her about him, and he ended up stabbing her daughter, and he ended up dying because of it. But long story short, she would have listened to her daughter when she's like, yo, if you're a doctor or a nurse, your scrubs can't be dirty all the time. Like here and there, yes, but every day your scrubs are dirty, like that's suspect. If he has so many aliases, that's suspect. You should take things into consideration, especially she was a teen at the time. But because of that, she was like, oh, no, she's just acting up, or she just doesn't like him. She likes to be single all to herself. So, and that definitely affected her in some way. Now they're close, but it definitely drifted them apart.
To be fair, my scrubs are dirty every day as a nurse. So I'm going to be honest, but I'm just
But you
saying.
change them. Don't you change them every day? Because
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, he was not.
No, he was wearing the same thing, the same exact scrubs. He'd wear it to parties, wear it to events, everywhere.
Oh, I gotta look this up.
That was a rare case of where you do have to check for their scrubs or their J's and stuff like that.
I think they made a movie out of it, or a show out of it. Yeah.
There was like a podcast on it. There was like a TV show on it. It's very famous. They used to call him Dirty John because he was dirty.
Dirty stuff.
I gotta check that out.
And she dated him?
Yeah, so
he was extremely charming.
She let him drive her Maserati too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was an interior designer. He was in jail. He got out of jail, met her on Match.com. They linked up. He was super charming.
Legit, the second he got out of jail, that's when they met.
Yeah, it was like 2 days after jail.
And the daughter peeped it like the same night. The daughter peeped it like, why do you want to spend the night? Why is he doing this? Why he's just doing the same night that he came? And the mom was just like, no, because he was really good looking to her. And
she put her happiness first. See what happened when you put your happiness first? Your child gets stabbed.
The conversation's back, CJ.
First.
You can't bring that conversation back.
Someone cannot.
That's a very rare.
That was a good circle back.
That's a good example, but that's so rare.
You can argue that she put her needs first, not necessarily her happiness.
Oh, that was her happiness.
She was trying to get off. It was more her wants. She was her wants.
How could she know that was her happiness? She just met. She
probably hold on. Let's get someone else. Casey, what do you think?
I think it depends on the age group though, because if it's kids underage, like young children,
we're saying between 18 and below.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because if it's over 18, then I don't need no say, no nothing from you. You're a full blown adult. Go live your own life. But if you are underage, you know, obviously I would love for my child to have a say. You know, they're not giving me permission to date whoever, but you want to establish some level of comfort between the child and the potential partner, because things can get a little, you know, uncomfortable, for lack of a better word, when the child don't like the mate.
Yeah.
And it can cause a whole lot of problems. You know, the child can sometimes get jealous, you know, feeling like you're coming to take away my mommy or you're coming to take away my daddy.
Oh.
And, you know, that's why I don't date men with kids. Like, I listen, it's just too much work. I don't have the time for it.
That's gonna be going.
I actually think that
women missing out when men got kids, bro. Especially if they got the kids, because those
especially when they live in the house
those
with the kids.
are
Like,
the best men. Like,
I agree.
Those are the best men, because we've learned to be committed to
and
something,
patient.
and we're patient. And you've learned that. And a man with no kids, some of them can. I'm not saying.
True.
CJ, I'm not talking about you directly.
Look, he taking a direct shot at me.
Yo, man, you're about to get kicked off. John, pick your words wisely. You're about to get kicked off the panel. Okay, just saying. It's not a threat. It's a promise.
A lot of value that a man with kids have. You get to see a sneak preview of how he treats his kids and how your kids would be. You can kind of abstract and search yourself into that. You know,
but they gotta be grown. They gotta be grown, or if they're not grown, they can't be living with him. Like, they gotta be living with the mommy, because, like, man, I don't.
Listen here. That's when you dating a man. I said a man, not a little boy. Okay, so like a man. Hey, listen. I'm about to start back. This is the mama. I'm about to start back dating. I've been seeing this woman. And she's good. I want you guys to meet her in about a month or two, because I want to make sure she's good for our son, and I don't need any drama from you. Son, I'm about to start dating this woman. Is not replacing your mom. Your mom is always your mom, but your dad have needs, and those needs will be satisfied. Your mom, she couldn't fit the ticket. We got it. We broke up.
But she could date a fly young nurse like me and not have to worry about none of that. Let's go, baby. Let's get it. We finna go around the world. I ain't gotta talk to nobody.
Let John finish. Let John finish.
That you have, and it kills all that. It just kills it. It ain't never been an issue. I ain't never had no. What's he doing around my back? Never had it. Never, because you put everything out there. I don't go to my son. Is it all right? What you think about her? Is it okay? No. I date who I'm going to date. This is not a replacement for your mother. Your mother's your mother, period. But I will not tolerate any disrespect. You're going to treat her with respect, just like you're going to treat me with respect when I decide for you guys to meet. I got to see where this is going to go, okay? And all I get, okay, glad you told us. Can we go play now? That's what I got. They don't care. Like, we put more into them than they really focus on. It's how you present the information. It's all about how you present the information, how you prime it. If you present it right, it'll come out good. But if you just surprise the hell out of them, hey, surprise, here's your new daddy. Do I have to
bitch, gotcha.
Got your ass. Like this mean paid and he can pay him. Shut up. Go.
M3, what's up, man? Thanks for coming up to the panel. What's going on?
No problem. Well, first and foremost, I want to shout out to my niece, Toya. Good evening. How you doing? And John, right? It was interesting that you said that men have value with the kids because it shows that they're committal, but does it still apply the same to women? So, like a woman who has. So earlier you said something about like men have with kids like have value because of the way how they raise and they take care of them. Mm-hmm. And you said that women are missing out if they pretty much neglect the guys who have kids.
Right.
Because you was replying to KC's comment earlier.
Right.
So I'll ask you the same question. Well, is it the same for women? Do women have the same value?
Yes.
Why is that?
See how she is. That helps me pick. It's things that I look at when I deal with a woman. I don't listen to but half of what she says that come out of her mouth. I watch everything that she does because her actions speak louder than her words. If she talk reckless to her kids, if she talk reckless to her parents, if she talk reckless to her father, she's gonna talk reckless to me. And I'm done. That's what I like when they have kids. I sure do, because I get to see, are they nurturing? Do they baby these kids too much? Can I be a part of this? Because I will date a woman with children. And quick, fast, and in hurry. I don't go out and look for women who don't have children. Because this one, you run into ones that don't want to have children. Or you run into some, you don't know what kind of mother she's going to be. Y'all, I spank kids. What if I would get with a woman who don't like to spank kids? And then she end up pregnant? No. I like it when they have kids. It adds value for me. It's not for everybody, but it is for me. I like when a woman has the child.
Well, I guess your situation is different because you already have kids. Maybe if you did not have kids, then it would probably be a different story.
I dated women with kids when I didn't have kids. My mom and them couldn't stand it. They were like, there you go. I'm ready, man. You
the pre-made starter pack.
Here's the thing. It's a certain caliber of woman. Just because a woman has a child does not damn her all to hell. I don't know where that narrative is coming from, but if a woman has a child, she was good enough for somebody. I know that much.
Now, why she not good with the man that she had kids with?
That ain't my thing, huh?
She's a single mother for a reason. Why she not married with the woman that she had kids with?
But maybe he wasn't no good. I got to find out for myself. Women don't treat all men the same. You understand what I'm saying? Women don't treat all men the same. Women don't treat all men the same. Some men, they this dude might have a simp, and then she recognizes that you ain't gonna put up with these things, and you doing shit that turns her on. She don't treat you like that, but ask for it.
So this reminds me of the conversation, CJ. CJ. If you remember one of the questions you asked, like I think it was on the chat, like why women make bad decisions. This sounds like one of those cases that a woman be making bad decisions.
Why you want to throw me in the fire? Why you want to throw me in the fire? This ain't got nothing to do with me, bro.
He pointed in a direction and he said, CJ, you did this. Do it on you right away.
But for real though, right? I don't know. This is me personally, right? I can't see myself like dating another woman who has her own kids, right? Because it comes on with the headache. There's a lot of good like stepfathers that could play into the role, but the moment that you piss that child off, you have no control over them. You can't really spank them like that now these days. It's not the old school way. And then they come to you and be like, well, you're not my daddy anyways or whatever, right? Even though you've been into like their life as if you was like their real father anyway, but I don't see the reward and the benefit. Now, for most. Now, for some, it may happen, but I don't know. I mean,
it's all about how you are as a leader. Man, children don't respond to all adults the same way.
And I think it's the mom too, because I would never let my son say that to somebody. If I had somebody that was going to be, I did. My two older kids were not by my husband, who I married, and he came around when my middle son was 4. Yeah, I think he was like about to be 4 or something, and I never allowed them to speak to him like that. When I did introduce him to the point where we were serious and he was going to be stepdaddy, I never let them even talk to him that way. I never made it even a situation or atmosphere that they thought it would be comfortable to even speak to say, "You're not my daddy," when they got mad. They better go in the room and close the door gently and then think about it in there. I never let them do that. So I don't think that applies to every person that has kids. As soon as you become a step parent, the kid's going to get mad and say, I think the parents set the tone for them to be able to do that, have an atmosphere where they feel comfortable to do that.
And but I didn't say all. That's why I say most.
True.
You'll probably be different from the majority of them, but I know for most, taking the role of a stepfather doesn't really have its benefits. It's not the same as.
I don't know. I have a stepdad. My stepdad has been in my life since I was 10, and he's the greatest man I know. He restored my faith in men. He restored my faith in that a father could stay. He restored, look at me singing Kelly Clarkson right there. He restored everything in me. And he is the epitome of what I think a great man should be, and an epitome of what I look for when I do, when I am dating, or when I do pick somebody, or, when I decide who I'm honing in on that I want to be serious with, or that I think I want to be serious with. And he's my stepdad. And anybody who meets us never knows that that's my stepdad until somebody says it. They always think that I'm his kid, even though I look completely different from everybody in the family. Everybody's to my shoulder. I'm almost 6 foot, like my minions, but nobody knows until we say it or it comes up. So just because you're a stepfather doesn't make you less than. It doesn't make them respect you any different. It doesn't make the dynamic any different. It's all what you put on, the emphasis of what the parents put on.
Yeah.
I have a stepfather, and he's a great man. I also have my biological father, but I would not advise any man with no children to date a woman with kids, because usually it is a crappy deal.
If they're not mature, you're not mature, and you're not open-minded, yes, I can see it being very hard for you. But if you are mature and you're open-minded, then it can be very rewarding for you too, because you don't know what those kids are going to give you. My stepdad, like there's 8 of us now, so he took care of 8 kids, and only 3 of them or 4 of them are biologically his. But he wouldn't change it for the world. He says it all the time. He wouldn't change it for the world. He said each one of us taught him something different. And I have 3 stepchildren from when I was married. And those are my bonus babies. I wouldn't change it for the world. Somebody asked me, if they're out walking, I still say these are my kids. I never say that these are my stepkids, even though we're divorced and been divorced for years. It just depends on the person. It depends on how you look at it. If you go in looking at it like, fuck, she got these fucking kids, it's going to suck. This got extra money. This is going to be a responsibility. Yes, you're going to have a shitty time. It's going to be fucked up for you. But if you go in with an open mind saying, this is extra love that I'm going to receive, this is extra love that I can give, and these are things that I can grow from, and it might challenge you to grow yourself, it can be very rewarding for you. It's just how you go into it.
I can get all that from a woman with no kids, respectfully. I'm just saying, like, I get all that from a chick with no kids. No, respectfully.
Hold on. M3, do you have any other closing statements?
That's about it. I just wanted to just chime in about why, about the step parents and all that. Gotcha. Thank you for having me on your panel.
Of course, shout out your platform, bro.
All right, well, shout outs to knowledge and relationships on YouTube. Shout outs to the Max King, DJ Eddie King, First Lady Tammy, and then all the other folks that joins my panel as well too, though. So.
The Masked King that will eventually see his face, right? Is that what you mean?
What do he look like, M3? What do he look like, bro?
Let me clear that up, right? First of all, it's no one's business to want to know what another man looks like. That's number one. But number 2, Masked King, right? Is Masked King for a reason. You will never know his identity. That's about it. That little clip that I gave you last time, that's all you guys gonna get.
That's interesting. Yeah. All right,
listen. Ninja Warrior.
All right. Thanks for coming on, my man.
All right. See you later, everyone.
Bye.
E Black.
What's going on?
What's going on, man?
Man, nothing much. How y'all been, man?
Pretty good. Pretty fantastic, actually.
What's up, E Black?
Y'all seeing? This is my first live with this camera, so I'm testing it on y'all.
Yeah, it shows your fade pretty nice, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all get to see it. Y'all get to see the grays. You know what I mean?
I heard you was a gigolo, E Black.
Man, y'all need to whatever y'all do on Anton's Patreon, that's y'all business, man. I don't know who he trying to recruit, man, but we don't get down like that.
But what's up, man? What's going on?
But y'all talking about should someone date single parents? I
no way. No, that wasn't towards you. That was towards the next person that I'm going to bring up to the panel. But I'm going to be very happy to bring her up to the panel. But finish what you were saying, E Black.
When I was single and I was finally kind of at a point to where I was able to like say, hey, I could bring another life in, and I was able to understand dating, and I was more mature. It was hard because I had standards and goals. Like, first of all, I have to whip the kid. I don't know if any of y'all are gonna be able.
You missed your question. You missed your question.
No, you ain't got it yet.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He just missed his call because you only get one call per show, and he just wasted. Come on, man. Come on, man. Continue.
But it's like, you know, stuff like discipline, and I'm gonna transform that child into a reflection of me, whether it's mine or not. So a lot of women, I feel, do not want to give up that power, and I was never able to find a woman who was able to really at least consider it. So it was harder enough to do that. So, you know, I think it's more on the woman. Is somebody talking? Is she talking?
I was muted. I'm just saying, like I'm sorry. Like, if I were to have a child, like, no man can hit my child. Like, you cannot. You are not the biological father. Do not put your hand on my children. I don't care. Like, that would send me.
Okay.
Oh,
so you're
avoid it like the plague, fellas with no kids. Avoid it like the plague.
So what you're saying is that a discipline in a young child is off the question for a man.
it is not off the question, but you gotta understand, like, hitting a child. Like, first of all, I don't believe in hitting children. Period.
Right. Hold on, guys. Hold on a second. Real quick, Stephanie and Natasha, you guys have to get going, right? I think you're muted. Okay, so give your channel one last shout out before you get going, and tell us a little bit about what you guys do on there.
So remember to follow us everywhere at Talk Your Shit Pod, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, anywhere really. And it's just a fun space where we talk about things like this or trending topics, politics, stocks, sports, what else? Relationships, dating, parenting, anything.
Bucket hats, all of it.
Everything. So if you're interested, just come.
The name of the podcast is Talk Your Shit Podcast. That's literally what we do. Just talk shit for a good 30 to 45 minutes.
Have a couple of drinks. It's a good time. Of course. Listen, this was great. We definitely have to do another collab again soon. All right? But thanks for coming. All right, guys?
Thank you.
All right, ladies.
Okay. So now I want to bring on one more person, one more guest. All right? Let's add Mrs. Black Wall Street.
What's up, boo?
Awesome. So before the love fest begins, E-Black, finish what you were saying.
Okay, so we were on the fact that, okay, you said you don't believe in hitting. Okay, I say disciplining. I believe in disciplining, and disciplining does come with some physical activity. And whether you
I like what you worded, physical activity.
Yeah, like, okay, if a kid has a thing, I'm gonna pop him on the wrist. If he goes way out of control, it does get to butt popping. But where do we draw the line? How, like, first of all, where it's your kid and another guy's kid, so why are you the only one to decide the fact that you're gonna own this whooping?
What?
Like, how is she's it's two people having the kid, right? Uh-huh. Well, she's carrying the kid, but it's two people's child. So she's saying that she doesn't believe in hitting, but what if the husband does?
Avoid it.
This is better for the next question. We need to
go to the next question. That's definitely going to be.
Can I put my 2 cents into that? Because I've dealt with kids that came from.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I've worked with children who came from abusive homes. I've worked with children who came from homes where they think spanking is okay. I myself don't believe that you should be able to put your hands on a child. If you feel like, if you teach your child, don't put your hands on another person, why would you put your hands on your child? You are your child's first line of defense in the real world. If you can't raise your child without resorting to violence, then you don't need to be a parent. You know, like you got to learn how to parent your kid and coach your kid into the behaviors that you want them to have without constantly resorting to, oh, they deserve a spanking. Because their behavior is a direct reflection of their emotions inside. If they're feeling some type of way or acting some type of way.
Wait. I might have to stop you just because all this sounds really good, but I want it to be saved for the question that's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah. Because E-Black, you almost stole my thunder, man. What the hell's wrong with you?
What's up?
We have a question for this. But thanks for coming up, man. Do you have any other closing comments?
Okay, well, my closing comments is that, like I said, you know, single women and women are problematic with children, and they're stuck in their ways. And in terms of, first of all, as a man, you have to be the leader of the household, and then not only that, you are the ultimate decider on the fear of God, which is the fear of retribution, whooping, discipline. All of that goes under what the man has to do. Women, I understand you guys are the nurturers, but I'm sorry, ladies, get you a man that is a provider, and you'll fully understand why he has to be totally in control. And that means everything is off on the table.
Oh, ladies, you want to respond to that?
No. I'm gone on that. Y'all trying to throw shots and then trying to
you just said something steamy, and then you're like, all right, peace. Come on, man.
Yeah, you're running out of the kitchen. You start the fire, and then you're running out of the kitchen.
I'm being kicked out.
And we were just on a stream yesterday talking about how alpha males want total control, and that's exactly where I don't.
Go.
Here
we go.
Total control.
You can't have total control of their household. There has to be balance.
There is no balance. The balance is being in your role.
Yeah, the balance is that you don't respect what your woman brings to the table.
I knew I felt some masculine energy up in here.
You feel like the final say. But y'all telling me that alpha males take into account what their women say and respect their women and all this stuff. I don't think having total control over everything is respecting the person in your household.
Oh my God.
But go off. That's how y'all feel.
E-Black, next week, are you free?
Yeah, I'm
you're
free.
on the panel. You're on the panel next week.
And bring these two young ladies. These two young ladies.
We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen.
You don't know my opinion on it. This is my sister. We are complete opposites.
Okay, yeah, that's why I say bring the two. You can stay, but yeah, I'm okay.
You're a good pair. You're a good pair.
Hey, but it's lovely. Hey, nice.
Wait, hold on. Shout out your panel, bro. Shout out your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel, E-Black TV. I do interviews. I talk to interesting people about faith. Come through, like, subscribe. I had my last interview was Warrior Hawk Jaguar, aka Adimu. He's from Oakland, California. He's a film artist, musician, etc., etc. He did a film about Oscar Grant. He's been doing films about 10 cities. He's done films about life in African culture. Check out the interview on my page, but most of all, check out CKQ because he's the man.
I appreciate you, bro. Definitely.
Can you post the link, E-Black? Because I've been searching for your channel. I can never find it.
Man, I've been shadow banned. I don't know what it is. I was literally in front of somebody's face, and I was like, "Look up E-Black TV," and they could not find me. So
when you type E-Black TV, it doesn't automatically pop up. I had to find you off of Instagram.
Okay,
yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, look at me. Look for me on Instagram, E-Black TV, and I got my link on that Instagram page.
Post it in the chat as well.
Yeah, they know you a gigolo. That's why they got to get you out of here.
Oh man.
All right.
All right,
E-Black, thanks for coming up, man.
Later, E.
Okay.
Yeah, next question. Let's get to it.
The next question for the panel. Luna, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, CK.
Do you believe in spanking children? Can a step-parent spank your kids? This is why we couldn't get into that conversation right there.
Yes and no.
I understand that question.
Yes.
So even though I don't have children, but I've worked a lot with children, and I've also worked with California slang is kind of tricky. Independent children are like 16 to 21, right? You can become you can file for independence at 16. So you see a lot of those households where children come from households that used to spank them, and it's a very thin line between just a spanking, just a whooping, and abuse. But I feel like that's a deep-rooted problem in especially Black culture, because we think hitting our children specifically is okay, and that computes to adulthood. Like, all right, well, my parents spanked me. Why is it not okay for me to put my hands on another person? Even though we're supposed to know, we're supposed to understand as adults, it's not okay to put our hands on another person. We still have a big problem with domestic violence in our relationships and in our culture, because it stems from childhood abuse. And y'all may not consider it abuse, but for me, that's abuse. Because if you can't coach your child into the direction that you want them to go without reverting to violence, without understanding why they're thinking, feeling, and acting a certain way, then you're not teaching your child the proper tools to succeed in life.
Don't agree. Absolutely don't agree.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna bring up Mrs. Rencher to the panel. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. Sorry about it earlier.
No, it's okay. Do you want to say anything to the panel? Questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah, about do you believe in spanking children? Can step-parents spank their kids? Yeah. Like, because it's a part of discipline. Like, you need to spank your kids even once. Because if you can...
You don't feel
hold on. Let her finish first.
Uh-huh. Because if you can, like, there's some certain things that you're just gonna do it because, especially the spoiled kids, they need to know that you are the parents, because mostly in this generation, a lot of kids who do disrespect to their parents. So for spanking, for me, it's yes, a big yes.
Yep, I'm the same
Okay,
way.
I have a question. You don't feel like there's other ways that you can discipline your child without putting your hands on them?
Oh, that's like what I said. There's certain things that you need to spank your kids. Not all the time. There's a time that you need to do it.
Yeah, there's the time you need to do it.
I agree. I all of my kids got this smoke, and they will continue to
got the smoke.
Because but that's not my first resort.
Or the second, or the third.
Yeah.
Or the fourth, or the fifth. More like the seventh, eighth, or ninth.
Yeah, but I'm not going to spank her for something minute. If I spank her, it's going to be something big that she did. Other than that, I'm going to keep telling her. But if it's something big that she does that I really don't want her to do again because it's dangerous to her, then yes, I'm going to pop her. Now, am I going to get a hanger and no wire hanger her to death? No, I'm not going to do that. But she is going to get my hand. I am going to pop her on the butt. I'm not going to slap her in the face or anything like that. I don't think I think that's when it becomes abuse, is when you start trying to hit the kid like somebody in the street.
Like you fight.
She got mad. Yeah, like you fight. That's when you get to the part. But if she's doing something that is detriment to her, that I know that I want her to learn a lesson right now, to right this moment, then yes, I'm gonna pop the shit out of her. But other than that, no, I'm gonna keep telling her. I'm gonna put her in a room. I'm gonna take her iPad away. There's other things I'm gonna do before. I'm gonna tell her to go bother Luna. I'm tell her to do other things before I get to the point of spanking her. That's not my first go-to, and that shouldn't be anybody's first go-to. As soon as the kid does something, you turn around and smack the shit out of them. That is, I think that's when it becomes abusive.
And a lot of times it's counterproductive, because sometimes spankings don't even work with children. If your child,
there's a certain age,
but even when they're younger. There is a thing called behavioral disorder, and that is a real thing that children get diagnosed with. That no matter how many times you whoop them or how many times you try to discipline them, they're still not going to behave because that's just how they act. And spanking them doesn't help at all. They're just going to go back and do it again.
Just didn't get the right word.
Wait. Let's not get too far. Let's not get too far off topic.
Okay, so this is my area right here. This is what my dissertation is going to be in developmental psychology.
This is my area.
Is conduct disorder. That's exactly what she's talking about. So, and in those cases, you're right. It doesn't work because there's a problem with the executive functioning, and it's similar to, the child's not on the spectrum, but they probably should be. And if they dig down into it, there's going to be something there. But the child, when they feel that overload, they just act out, they lash out. That's something totally different and it's really rare. But on the other hand, spanking, Edward Thorndike, he said that it's the law of effect. If there is a negative consequence that follows if there's a behavior and then there's a negative consequence, that behavior is least likely to be committed again because the outcome was not favorable. And if it was positive, then it's more than likely it will be committed again. So here's a perfect example. Don't talk back to me ever again. If you do, I'm going to put you in the corner. And what is it? Time out for 3 minutes forever. It's 1 minute for every year they are living. Like, that's really going to work. Okay, so you put them in the corner. Let's say 6 years old, 6 minutes. What did that do? Nothing. That's why when they come out the corner and you say something and they talk right back to you, it did nothing. So now you can do what's called a negative punisher and remove something from them. Well, at 6, they're just going to find something else. And then because that's the way their mind works, they just cycle through things. Those work better for children later in age, like 12, 13, 14 years old. Once they pass their identity, because you're removing something, it's like removing them. So that doesn't work. When you spank a child, now if I go over there and I say, come here, don't talk back to me again. You see that? I put the fear of God in him. He ain't gonna do it again. You know why? Because he don't want that. He don't want that. I ain't slapping him in his face. I can slap him on his hand, but it's gonna be effective. Why? Because his hand gonna be burning. And I know how hard I hit him because I will feel it in my own fingers. These are my nerve endings. So I know I'm not gonna hit him too hard. It's just a flip of the wrist. Pow! And the sound was something. That was the stimuli. The fact that I did it, the way that I said it, when I looked at him, I wasn't playing. He knows it. So the chances of him talking back to me are slim and none. It's just not going to happen. And when you condition them like that, you don't have to do all this. Why isn't your room clean? Why don't you do that? No, if I say I don't do none of that stuff. I got 3 boys. 3 boys. None of them never even been to the principal's office. All 3 of them got whoopings, but they got it young. And I ain't have to whoop them after 6, 7 years old. I ain't have to whoop them. I could talk to them. Like, listen, get your stuff together. If the teachers come to me and say, hey, so-and-so is about to on the verge of doing something, because they bored, they gonna do what they do. They kids, okay, I get it. Then I have to come down there. I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's the problem? Why is the respect that you give me not extended over to your teacher? Dad, I'm sorry. Don't be sorry, son. Be careful. Yes, sir. And that's it. That's done. Over with. Because they remember. But that whole domestic violence and all that comes from a kid that was in a home they seen a lot of abuse. They seen mental abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. That's where that comes from. That fighting and stuff like that. I ain't care if a boy put his hands on you, you put your hands back on them. But we don't tell. We fight. We get out. That's how my boys are taught. But the whole bullying program, you want to stop a bully, hit him in the mouth. That's how you stop a bully. Tell them don't do nothing.
Facts. Yeah. Mrs. Renter, would you like to say anything else? Closing comments.
Yeah. Anyway, nothing at all. I just want to see what's going on here. Just like, yeah, because it's my first time also, so I don't know.
No, this is very cool. Thank you for hopping on the panel. Yeah, that was awesome. Really?
I'm still asking to Jen, hey, what I'm gonna do first. Yeah, but really, I like the concept. I like what you're talking about here, about kids, about parenting, about bad parenting, because really it getting my nerves, especially the video you show earlier. Like I messaged to Jen like, what the fuck? She's ridiculous, something like that.
Exactly.
I don't like it, so I'm happy
Join.
To join here. So that's all. So
Always feel free to call in. I see you in the comments. You're killing it in there. Feel free to call in at any point in time. All right.
yeah, I just want to calm down also to my boo because he's
There he
always.
goes. There he goes.
So nice meeting you all here.
Take care.
Yeah, merci.
Awesome. What a beautiful love story. Okay, back to the serious stuff, okay? Do you believe in spanking children? Can a step-parent spank your kids? Casey.
If you realize I've been a bit quiet because I don't know if I have enough to contribute to this question because one, I don't believe
you definitely got to contribute to this question.
Pardon?
I said you definitely got to contribute to this question because most of our culture believes it's okay to spank your children, and I feel like we gotta learn to redirect our culture into better parenting.
I'm like, honestly, this is one of those situations where you got to be in it to really know how you would respond, because I don't believe in spanking, but based on the what the gentleman said with the hat, well, the gentleman with the kids, with the 3 boys.
John, Black Wall Street, yes.
Black Wall Street, right.
Yeah.
Based on his reasoning, like it kind of makes sense because like I've been around people with kids, and especially when they're very young, like toddlers, they are very difficult to deal with, and sometimes they drive you crazy, and it's like no matter of talking to them, we'll get the point across. Like you gotta do something for them to yield. So I mean, I think why I would probably consider spanking, he said under 6 years old, which I mean, I think that's reasonable. A little spank on the wrist, I think that's tolerable. I think that's okay. But when it becomes
a year, 18 months.
Yeah, when it becomes abusive and like frequent, then that's where. And then when they're older, like I really don't like the idea of hitting them when they're grown and when it's like
this is a science. Like
and another thing too, a trigger point for me. Like a trigger point for me is I don't know. Like I've not been in it, so I don't think I have the authority to speak on it. But I just like from a very ignorant place, I don't feel like I would be comfortable with my boyfriend or a stepdaddy hitting any of my children. Like especially my daughter. Like you do not touch my daughter. I will listen to me. Like do not hit any of my children. Like I don't know why I'm even getting this worked up about it, because it's like I just don't think that a step parent should put their hands on a child. I just don't think you have that authority to do that. You're not their biological parent.
CJ,
I don't know why.
CJ, I see you brewing over there. What's up, CJ?
Well, no, I'm not brewing. This is why I tell men with no kids to avoid single mothers at all costs, because you can take on the responsibilities of being a father for the child, but a lot of them don't want you to discipline them in the appropriate way. Now, again, I don't believe in hitting, I don't believe in like beating them but I do believe a good old fashioned ass whooping is appropriate at times.
Absolutely.
Now, again, I don't have any kids, but if I had a child, I wish another man would put his hands on my child.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But that's why. But see, that's why I avoid it. I avoid it. That's why I didn't make nobody a single mother. That's why I choose not to date single mothers, because I don't even got time to have that kind of conversation with another grown man talking about, is it okay if I discipline your child? I don't got time for that nonsense and that mess. So if you are a single man, avoid it like the plague.
I think why I'm so triggered too.
My stepfather. Our stepfather has never, ever once, not once, laid his hand on us. He's never been
that man. Like
he's never been into a predicament to where we were even mad or where he even felt like he needed to spank. I mean, he does believe in spanking.
We done some shit though. We were not perfect teens, but he never felt the need to put his hands on us. He left that to our mother. He would tell our mother, "Look, your child is acting up. Go discipline your child." And he never felt like he himself had to step into that role to put his hands on us.
He raised his voice, but he never, to this day.
Ooh, that voice put the fear of God in you.
That's all he had to do. It's a certain voice he done. That's all he had to do was that voice, and it was a wrap.
You know what? And most girls are like that. I've been a stepdad for girls. Girls, you don't have to. I never have to whoop them. Never. My boys, I tear that ass up. But the girls, if you just, hey, sit down. They just sit
Boy,
down.
you better be careful if they got an active father in their life, because I'm trying to tell you, put your hands on a man's daughter, you're gonna have problems.
Exactly.
You're gonna have problems. You better be glad. You better hope they don't have no active daddy. You better hope they don't have no, because I don't have kids. But the thought of it is pissing me off.
Exactly.
That another man putting their hands on my daughter. Oh hell no, bro.
You gotta.
I think it's crazy. Yeah, I think it's crazy.
Just avoid it, fellas. You ain't gotta deal with none of that.
A single parent doesn't just mean that she's by herself. Now, that's
what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
No, listen.
I just think it's crazy that you would want to put your hands on somebody else's child, but you wouldn't want somebody to put their hands on your child. Like, it's okay coming from you, but it's not okay coming from somebody else.
Okay, so now I'm going to define something for you. If you're not in that child's life, you can get all the smoke.
Oh, hell no.
And you will get all the smoke, and I fight real well. You can get it. I'm fooling. I mean, you can get it. You can get all of it. You have no say. Zero. When you're not in that child's life, you're no longer the father. You're the sperm donor. You have the same amount of damn say as the person who donated sperm and got paid and don't know who the damn sperm went to. You have no rights, no say whatsoever. So miss me with that. So you come around, you can get all the smoke. And while you at it, I need last month's your half on this mortgage and this rent. I need your light bill money. And then after you catch up, then we can fight it out and you can go along with two black eyes.
But do you see all that drama that comes along with that? But usually, who got time for that?
It's not about women dating.
Who got time for that?
But this question does not care. We don't care about this. Not like a subcontract to Kevin Samuels segment. We're not talking about that. We're talking about
you brought up Kevin Samuels
spanking children. Can a step parent spank your children? The point of that is you got to define what's single. If you got an active dad in this man's, she's not a single parent. They co-parenting. She's just not with him. But they co-parent. So yeah, you can't touch my kid. Period. I will put her hands all over you, and I will go so far as to kill you. You understand? No, you can't touch my kid. But if he's not in the child's life and she's a legit single mom, she gonna back you on that. Cause you ain't finna come around telling her what to do and messing up her situation, and you ain't nowhere around. Come on, man. That's not how that works.
I think a child getting spankings from 3 different people would be a bit much. It's like, damn, I got spankings from my mom, spankings from my dad, and this nigga too. Like, come on.
Hey, where's the 3 though? There's not an active father in the house. That's a single mom. If you're a single mom, that means there's no active father around. Period. He ain't got to be in the house to be active. She can be. She's not a single mother. People call people the wrong things. That's a mom who the 2 people are parenting this child. They don't have to be together. She's not a single mom. This man comes to the child. That's not a single mom. They just not together. She just separated from him, but the child got both
co-parenting. They're co-parenting.
Well, when you're dating, a lot of guys see that. They hear that you have kids, and automatically they think, "Oh, she got little kids. I have to take on this responsibility." I tell people they have a dad. They have somebody that takes care of them. We co-parent. They have what they need. They get what they need. I'm not looking for a daddy. I'm not looking for somebody to come step in and help me raise these. Yeah, no, that's not what your job is. They have a dad for that. They have that. What you could be is you can add to that. You can be their friend. You can be another person. You can be another role model. You can be another significant male,
a mentor
in our lives. But you are not. You don't have to take on that responsibility of you are the father. But a lot of guys, when they hear, "Oh, you have kids," that's automatically what they think is, "Fuck, I gotta pay for these kids." No, you don't gotta pay for shit.
Gotta be daddy.
I gotta do this. No,
but your resources are going into if you live with her, if y'all live together, your resources are going into that household, which does care for those children, no matter how you call it or how you switch it. So therefore, my resources can still come into the house, but I can't discipline the kids. That's a crappy deal. That's a crappy deal.
But it's not crappy if that was another way. If that was the other way around, because you wouldn't want nobody else putting their hands on your child.
No, I don't, and I don't want to put my hands on nobody else's child. That's why I don't date single mothers. That's why I don't do it.
I pay $500 a month so I get to whoop the kid. Next month when I only.
What is the point of wanting to put your hands on the kids? Like you could still a child could still respect you without you wanting to spank them.
Yes.
Luna, it sounds like you don't believe in spanking.
She don't believe in nothing.
Luna, you don't believe in spankings at all?
I believe it's a very rare
stepdaddy.
It's a very rare occasion. It's a very rare occasion that spankings are absolutely necessary. But I feel like you can redirect the child to have the behavior that you want them to have in other ways. I feel like in our society today, we resort to spanking way too often and don't think of other outlets for our children.
Let's throw a scientific aspect into it. Children. John,
what
do you think there's only a rare occasion that we should be spanking children?
Nah, I don't believe in rare occasion, bro. I believe you should shape the behavior. It's called shaping. You shape the behavior at a younger age. When you shape behavior at a younger age, then you pair the behavior with a specific response where your voice is all you need into controlling. And you set a pattern. It's a lot that goes into raising a child. A lot.
I agree with John. I definitely agree with John.
You got to get control over them first. And then you establish a pattern. The pattern has to always be. Next, you need to have the dynamic correct. We are not friends. We are not buddies. I don't. My person. No.
Yep.
And that part I agree with 100%.
You see what I'm saying? Well, I mean, I got you. I'm glad you agreed, but I'm telling you what works scientifically, and this is how you. You ever seen somebody had the best raised dog ever? Dog do every damn thing. What you think?
Yep.
How you think that dog got that way? The dog got conditioned like that.
And John,
let him finish. Hold on, Luna. Let him finish. Let him finish.
Children with dogs because we're in kingdom Animalia. They're in canine. We're in primate, but we're all animals. They're mammals. We're mammals. They cry. They want bottles. They have emotions. Same thing, and they do act up. They don't listen. They pull. They go off, run across the street. They don't listen. But some people's dogs do listen. Why? Because they discipline the dog. They give the proper balance of reward and punishment. Yeah, you heard me talk about punishment, but also reward. Now, everybody can't spank. You got some people that don't know the damn difference between spanking. Like some people, all up in here, these are red areas. You don't hit no child in their face. You don't pop them in the chest. You don't hit them on the sides. They have two good landing spots. The thigh. The back part of the thigh. When they're young, you can tear that ass up. It's a thick ass muscle. It won't bruise. I'm serious. It won't bruise nothing. Their ass went after they're potty trained. The pamper, you just wasting your time. You scare them, but it shit wasn't effective. Like you just scared the hell out of them. That's all you did. If they cry, and some they just won't even cry. But you get them right down that hip on that thigh, not their little hip, but they thigh, the meaty part of their thigh. That's good. Good little pop. Sit your butt down somewhere and be free. And you got to be consistent. Like you can't just do it sometime. You can't do it later. Like if they did something right now, you can't wait. This child don't know why you putting your hands on them. Like, you just wait till you and the worst. Wait till your daddy get home. I would never respond to that. I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. Come here, boo-boo. You're not gonna pair that behavior with every time I come in, he getting his hands getting put on him. No, because then he thinks I'm evil. He thinks he don't know why he's getting a whooping. Have no idea. He did some shit with you a long time ago. I wasn't there. He don't know why I'm popping him. You should have did it. Or you can't do it, we'll find something else to do. When his mom, she had that same thing. She said, you don't need, I hate it when you pop him, but when that son gun got to be 2, when he got to be 2 and she couldn't go nowhere with him, and I could go everywhere with him, because he responded to her differently. He showed her what talking to led to. With me, if I told him don't go in the store and touch nothing, just sit up here in the buggy, that was it. You didn't even know he was in the store. With her, he throwing shit, anything he touched, she buying him candy, he pouring out stuff on the floor. Why? Because she had no control over him. Because a 2-year-old, you can't talk to them. What are you going to tell them? They still learning English, so what are you going to say? You're going to take something from them, they're going to fall out on the floor. Now what? How do you redirect that behavior?
I think that's why it's so important to have a masculine male authoritative figure in the house. Because when my pops, I got whooped one good time when I was 6 years old by my pops. And I knew when he gave me that look, it was time to sit the hell down.
Period.
So, and I knew what time it was. My pops was never trying to be my friend. That's why I look funny when you said a stepdad can come into the house, they can be their friend. No, not your friend.
No, I don't mean it like that. I don't mean like y'all gonna kick it and try to smoke blunts together. I'm not talking like that. I mean I mean it in like, I don't think any parent should be your friend. I think we'll be friends later on. I didn't become friends with my boys until they were in their 20s. I'm not saying like we just gonna kick it like the family we watched earlier in the beginning.
You got kids in your 20s?
Yeah, my son's 23 and 29. But I'm saying like,
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, you look like 30.
She look young as hell.
You look like 30.
Thank you. I mean,
We're talking about MILFs and GILFs earlier.
You like 17 years old.
No, I'm not a GILF.
Nah, you fit the MILF. You fit the MILF category. You're good.
Oh my God. You had it when you were 10?
No, that's gross. 12. I'm just playing. No, I wasn't. But I think like you're still going to have another relationship. It's not only the father relationship you can come in and have with a stepchild. It's not only that type of bond you can have. You can have a father like, you can have a mentor like. They're still going to respect you. I'm not saying the kids can come up.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? If you live with a man and y'all both are contributing resources and he's contributing his resources, because essentially he is a caretaker, whether he has a dad outside the home or not. So how come he can provide and contribute those resources and not discipline them as he feels?
The same way when his kids come in, say or my situation that I was in, I had 3 stepchildren. 1 was a girl and 2 were boys. The 2 boys lived with us all the time, not 100% of the time. My daughter came every once in a while. But the same way I didn't want to put my hands on his kids, it's the same way he didn't want to put his hands on my kids. There was other ways that he disciplined them. There's other ways that I disciplined. We did it as a team. There was no gap where, they were acting fool with him and then not with me because they knew I had the power to pop shit out of him and he didn't.
So could the biological father spank them with no problem from you, with no argument from you, if he felt he needed to? Would he have to ask your permission?
They're biological. No, he could pop them if he wanted to. But
right, so like that's what I'm saying. Like that's my point.
Their biological dad was gone in the wind. So
but I'm saying like if he was there.
No,
but that's what I'm saying. Like if he was there,
I just want to know why those two
why those two are mutually exclusive. Like, why you can't just care enough for this child to want to provide for them? Why do you also want to have the father figure and the
because they're afraid that kid's going to disrespect them, and they want to know what they can do.
Because if I can contribute my resources to that child and to that household, I should be able to discipline them how I see fit. That's your job to vet the husband or whoever you're gonna bring around your kids appropriately, though.
Like what he said, the woman needs to do it too. So she's not going to wait until the husband comes home and say, look, wait till your daddy get here or your stepdaddy or whoever to handle it. So if I have all the kids and I got this blended family and I have his kids and my kids and our kids and we're going around and one of his kids acts a fool and all of my money's going to that household too, do I then need to call and say, hey, can I pop the shit out of your daughter?
No, you don't. No, not if you provide resources for those children. No, you don't. Because if that kid is good enough to take your resources and use your resources to their benefit, you should be able to pop that ass when you see fit.
But not if she's a single mom. But not if she's a single. But not if you're still in the picture though.
And that's why I say,
you're saying because if somebody did that to your kid, you would flip.
You should even if you are in the picture, and this is why I avoid single mothers. But if you are in the picture, you got to be fair, and I'll be fair with you. Even if the dad is in the picture, if that child is living under your roof, he should still be able to punish you as he sees fit because his resources are going into that home, into that child. That's why I avoid the shit like the plague. So fair is fair.
I feel like that's mighty selfish because you're saying if I'm giving you this,
I'm taking care of another man's kid. How's that selfish?
You're saying if I give you these resources, if I give you this, I want this in return. From your children, not from the person that you're with, but from the children in the household. You're not giving yourself out of the kindness of your heart or because you want to be with this person. You're giving these resources because you want equal control in return. And that is selfish.
No.
Yeah,
See,
you're saying
you're so scared. You're so scared of being controlled. You're so afraid of being controlled that like everything is to control with you. If I'm taking on another man's burden, and another man's child, and I'm giving my resources.
Hold on. Let CJ go.
If I'm taking care of another man's children, another man's burden, if I'm taking away from my resources and giving them to children that are not my own, and they can take it with no issue, I should be able to discipline them. Point blank, period. And that is why a lot of men with no kids like to avoid single mothers because of an emotional argument like that. You can give to my children, but you cannot discipline them. I can only do that, or their daddy can. That's bullshit.
Something you have to choose to do when you meet somebody with children. That is something you choose to do because that's just part of your character as a person and as a person you want to be with the person you want to be with. That's something you choose to do, not because you get something in return, not because I get to discipline these children in return, but because you love those children so much, you're going to give to them regardless of the type of control you're able to have over them.
And that's why I said it depends on what your mindset is. You meet somebody with a kid. That's why I said it depends on how you
hearing what I'm saying. Like,
how come you get?
The whole thing that CJ is saying is that you cannot have responsibility without authority. You're essentially saying that he can come in.
But who said you don't have authority without popping shit out?
Sometimes it calls for that. Not all the time, but at the time where it calls for that, it needs to be dealt with. And that is the problem. That's the deal that these dudes got to make when going into these situations with these single mothers. Can I pop them? Can I not? Well, we didn't have to ask when you can eat up my food or take up my resources, or I'm providing you my protection, because when you come into that situation with a mother with kids, that is the package deal. You sign up to take care, provide for those children. So I should be able to discipline if the need calls for it. I don't understand what's so hard to understand about that.
Casey.
If I have to live with somebody right now, somebody lives with me right now.
Hold on, Toya. Hold on. Let Casey go because she's been patiently waiting.
Like, I'm learning so much listening from you guys, but I think that I understand both perspectives. I understand what CJ is saying, and I understand what Luna and Toya is saying. Both have very valid points because one is from a emotional standpoint and one is from a logical standpoint. So in my mind, I would think that the stepfather, there has to be like a conversation between the stepfather and the mother, and it needs to be clear as to what the role of the stepfather is going to be. Is he going to be the disciplinarian? Okay, first of all, before we even get there, is he going to be considered the head of the household? Right? And if he is going to be considered the head of the household, if you're going to charge him with that responsibility, then everything is on the table. He has to be able to discipline. He has to be able to do everything as if these kids were his own kids. Because let's face it, you wouldn't want a situation where, like, say, for example, he is bringing in his kids, like a Brady Bunch situation, right? He's bringing in his kids, you have your kids. And he can only spank his kids, but he can't spank your kids. Like, the separation right there, it just doesn't look right. Like, there needs to be unity, and everything needs to be right across the board, from discipline to resources to rewards to everything. Everything needs to be on the table. So I think it's only fair to treat it that way instead of compartmentalizing it. Because if you're the mom and he's the head, the father figure in the household, it just doesn't make sense for him to sit and wait until the mom comes home for the child to get a spanking.
Facts.
Like, that doesn't look right. Like, you're stripping him of his authority. You're stripping him of the impact he's gonna make on these children, because they're just gonna laugh at him and be like, oh, whatever. Like, they're not gonna.
You ain't my daddy.
Toya, what were you gonna say?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't agree, because I've lived that life and I do have a Brady Bunch, and we did do that. And my boys, that's their dad. That's who they call dad. That's who they respect as their dad. They have never raised their voice at him. They have never slammed a door in front of him. They have never disrespected him in any way, shape, or form or fashion, behind his back or in his face. And the same thing with my stepdad, or with our stepdad. He's never once. We've never disrespected him, and we have a brother too, and he never disrespected him either. It's like, you can have authority with other ways. It doesn't have to be just that one thing and only that one thing. You can get your
boys got disrespectful. Could he do it?
Hold on, CJ, let her finish.
I was gonna say, you could have authority over those children, and you can have. And he was still, my ex-husband was the head of the household. I don't think that, I don't have a problem letting go of control. So he was the head of the household. He did control the majority of everything, the majority of things. And he did say, you wait till or he'll call me if I was on a trip, or he'll call me if I'm at work, and to let me know what happened. I would talk to the kids and tell them, when I get home, we'll all sit down and have a family meeting and talk about this, because they don't forget because it was 4 hours ago or 5 hours ago what the fuck they did. They still remember. And when we came home, we talked about it, and we decided whatever the discipline was going to be for all of them. It wasn't like only my kids got whooped by me and only his kids got whooped by him. Whoopings and spankings that's last resort. That's not something that you're going to do right all the damn time. They got bad grades, now I'm going to beat the shit out of them. No. Or that is something extreme. Spanking was extreme for us. It wasn't like something that you just pull out all the time. So there was other things that we did, and we didn't have a problem. And they still respect him to this day.
Would you allow him to spank them if it went there?
No, I wouldn't, and he knows that.
Why?
Because they're not his biological kids. So that's
avoid it at all costs. That's my point. He can provide resources, but he can't spank. Avoid it at all costs.
But his resources didn't go 100% to that house. It wasn't like I didn't receive. This is the problem.
Doesn't matter. It's still some of his resources. Don't matter.
But I can have $80 worth of money, and he gives me 20. But because he gave that 20, he gets free reign. Even though 80% of my money went to the house,
it's still some of his resources. It was good enough for you to accept. So if he does something that's out of line, if the son does something that's out of line, he can't spank them. That's insane.
So what does he do?
Why you don't get into it?
He gets to spank him 20%. They get a 20% whooping.
That's two.
That makes no sense.
Why are you dealing with a man that's only contributing 20% then? Why are you dealing with a man only contributing 20%?
Let John talk.
Monetary value to discipline. And you can't tie those two.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
discipline is supposed to be out of love and care to rear that child, not for how much money you give.
Here's the problem here. CJ does not date single women. That's one. Two, CJ don't have kids. That's number two.
First of all the women I date are single.
I mean, my bad. Single parents. You know what I mean, CJ. But
yeah,
I mean, so that's you arguing like a real mute point because here's the thing. When you are a father,
this is why I rarely.
Hold on. Let him finish.
If you're not with that mother, you don't go. If you start dating somebody else that have kids, you don't look at it the same way. Like that whole point you're trying to make, I understand it. I get it because when my baby mother, when I met her boyfriend, the one that she was serious with, we agreed on all this stuff before we even broke up. What was going to happen? That's why I met him because that's our thing. I introduced her to somebody who I'm planning on marrying, like Miss Black Wall Street. And she and I get to meet her dude. And when I met him, we had a conversation. And I said, Jamarcus knows, Jamarcus always been in my life. So, you can't whoop him, right? And he was like, oh, no doubt. I was like, bet. And as long as he know that, that's cool. Because Jamarcus don't need nothing from him. Nothing. Not $1, not one thing. And any 2 times that you think that he's a problem, he can come live with his dad. Now, Jamarcus had a conversation for me too. You will extend the same amount of respect to me as to that man. Until we do something that me and his mama gonna have a talk about, and I'm gonna go see why he thought that was okay. But that's just the way that works. I mean, you can like it, not like it. That's the way that goes because he has an active father in his life. She's not legit a single mother. She's not. We co-parent this child. So no, you're not gonna have authority over him at all. Like he's not gonna disrespect you. I'm not gonna allow that. But you ain't finna whoop him. I don't care if you do something that do need whooping. You can't whoop him. If you don't
why do you?
You're not gonna whip him. It's not gonna happen. If she can't give
Last point, Luna, and then I want to do a quick reaction video.
Go
ahead.
If you're gonna get the same respect from the child and trust that parent of the child is gonna step in when necessary to make sure that you aren't getting disrespected, then I don't see the need for you to want to discipline that child. You have to work with that child's parent and let them know, like, look, I don't want to be disrespected, and you have to trust that parent isn't going to allow you to be disrespected. And that's just the point I was trying to make.
Thank you, Miss Black.
I just don't feel like you should tie the money that you put into the household with the discipline you give a child.
Spanking kids. Hot
That
topic.
is insane.
Hot topic. I love it.
This is why
enemies were made tonight.
The craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
All right. So going back to like two parents and the different dynamics between a single mother and father.
You want to say hi?
I have a quick reaction video that I'd like us to take a look at.
Video.
Correct. Reaction video. So if you guys can do me a favor and mute your mics. This is a Fresh and Fit podcast. Fair use, fair use.
It's a female?
I think so. All right.
Welcome to the show.
Hello. I just wanted to ask a question.
Sure, go ahead.
I wanted to ask a question about single dads and single moms. I wanted to know your opinion on that.
Okay, so you want to know about single dads versus the single moms?
Yes. Should I hang up now? Because I can't hear you.
Oh, no. Like, what do you mean? Like, what's the difference?
I just wanted to know, like, your guys' opinion on that. Like, you said that most single moms won't put themselves in a position to be a step parent, like a stepmom.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, basically, to answer that question, okay, I get where she's going with this. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying women are smart enough to know that they're not going to put themselves in a position where they're a step parent, whereas like guys will happily do that. You know what I'm saying? Like women are much more wise when they mate select than men are. Yeah. This is why they don't set themselves up to deal with a single dad long term as a stepmom. Whereas like men aren't that intelligent. They'll sit there and take a single mom all day if she's hot enough. Go ahead.
And look, women are smart.
Yeah.
They know problems that come with that whole interaction.
Yes.
So I know single dads, that the moment they mention, hey, I have kids, girls are like, oh, I can't do this. They turn off or they just start talking to them.
Yep.
So in this scenario here, a caller, yes, a lot of women know up front what's going to happen if they date a single dad. They got to deal with a crazy baby mama. They got to deal with all the drama. And they're not about that. They want to get their bag, run it up, and have fun. So,
and this is an example. I always, real talk. I made a TikTok video that went viral. And in the video, I said, you need to treat women as expendable commodities. Mm-hmm. I'm going to explain what I mean by that. You need to date women the same way they date men. Whether you guys want to admit it, whether people want to admit it or not, we all know, because obviously the RP is growing every day. There is a flake epidemic right now with men and women in the sexual marketplace. Women flake. Women don't follow up on dates, whatever it may be, right? This is why so many guys are finding this kind of knowledge, trying to get answers, right? So women already date in a way that's to their best interest. They only deal with the highest bidder and they flake on everybody else. So girls on like a primal level have no problem flaking on people and doing what's in their best interest when it comes to mate selection. The problem is that men don't adopt the same mentality. And that's why we tell you guys, you need to think like a man, but date the same exact way that women date. Let me bring that now with being a stepmother. Stepmothers, a woman isn't going to put herself in a precarious position to be a stepmother for a child that isn't hers. Mm-hmm. Most girls are smart enough to know that's a lose-lose for them. So they don't even put themselves in a position. The problem is that men, a lot of the time, don't understand their worth and will gladly take on a stepchild, not knowing the consequences and the ramifications of doing so, whereas most women wouldn't even open themselves up to the situation.
And men are taught to do what's right.
Exactly.
And the right thing to do is help a woman in need with her kid.
Exactly.
And off principle, off of religion, sometimes we fall into that trap.
Yes.
It's the right thing.
What do you guys think so far?
I think they 100, and I don't like them like that, but they are spot on that one.
Casey, you're still muted. Just a heads up.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry, CJ. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I agree with them on that one. Men are much more willing to date a woman with a child versus a lot of women, because most women want to be the first and top priority, and it is almost impossible. It is virtually impossible to be the top priority, especially single women with no children. Single women with no children want to be the priority, and it's virtually impossible to be the top priority if that man has kids. They are 100% correct. 100% correct. Men need to start dating like women date. Facts.
I mean, some of the stuff he said was like, right, if women don't like men with kids, that's right. But all that other, they can't.
Unless he has a lot of money. What they fail to mention is that if he has a lot of money, then a lot of them will look past it. But if he's just an average guy, they won't know. No, especially if she don't have kids. Now, if she has kids, she probably most likely will date a man, because that you level set at that point. But yeah, I agree.
Luna, you've been smiling over there. What's going on?
You know, Luna loved the kids.
She's single with no kids.
I love being stepmama. Or if you don't need a stepmama, I love being around children. Go ahead. As I just want you to have a healthy relationship with your baby mama. That's all I ask, is that you have a healthy relationship with your baby mama. I don't mind you having children. I love daddies. All of that shit. You can't tell me that I want to date a single man with no kids. Go ahead.
She's a call her daddy kind of girl. Okay.
I think I would even prefer somebody with kids, and it's all the reasons that Mr. Black Wall Street said earlier, that majority of the time guys with kids have more compassion, they have more patience, they are usually more mature, they are they're easier to talk to, they're flexible. So, and even before I had kids,
I don't think men with kids are more flexible, but I'm single, so I'm flexible.
Yeah.
And I work around your schedule. So
I very rare. Well, now I have kids, but I don't think I've dated. Man, Donnie, he's the only one I dated that didn't have kids.
True.
I've only dated one person that out of all my life that didn't have kids.
He's the only one that actually understands, though. As a person without children, he's the only person that actually understands what it's like to be a mom. You know,
so it's interesting because the reason why I chose this video too, because these guys, this was one of their older videos. Later on, they've actually changed their mind on that, and they've said that women would typically go for guys with kids or someone with a pet, like a dog or something, because that shows,
if you don't got a pet, he ain't gonna work out.
It shows responsibility. It shows that they're able to care for something outside of themselves, while still being able to take care of their household and everything like that. So it shows he is a responsible.
A woman must have told them that.
Do you see how ass backwards that is? That is ass. So you saying a man that can really that's self-sufficient and can take care of himself doesn't show responsibility?
No. That's being adult. That's just adulting.
He said taking care of.
That's responsibility.
So hold on, CJ. Listen. So the whole responsibility to being an adult, women could do that themselves. So why would they need someone else that could just do that? It could just be two single people just living in the house. No, they want to know that this man could actually take care of something outside of himself. Completely completely unattached to himself, besides just caring for that thing. Women want to nest with a man. Understand that. So they look for someone that can provide, that can protect them.
Yep.
That's what that is. I am protecting this thing that is outside of me. That is exactly what taking care of a kid or a dog or a pet is. And that's why it's so much more attractive to a woman when a man is able to do that and still sustain his life effortlessly.
But some men can have a pet and be shitty pet owners. I don't see the correlation, because if it's a lot of men who can't take care of themselves, who are living with their mamas, living with all kind of women. So I don't understand. I'm having a hard time understanding the correlation of a man who can self-sustain and live a life of fulfillment. How does that not correlate to being able to take care of a woman? If anything, I would think that would. Not saying that the pet can't, but you have some people that are shitty pet owners. That, to me, that makes no sense. But I'm not a woman, so I can't.
If you're a shitty pet owner, that's not taking care of a pet. That's just having an animal, that's in your care that you're not really caring for. But it's gonna show. You're gonna know if a pet is in a bad environment. But being able to take care of a pet lets me know that you have compassion or empathy for something that is not gonna give you anything back, and you're not gonna get anything out of taking care of this thing, but probably the love or the loyalty that it gives you. It's not gonna feed you. It's not gonna pay your bills. It's not gonna, give you insight or make you more intelligent. It's not gonna do nothing. It's just there for you to come home to and take care of, and that's it.
You can do that in a number of ways without having a pet. Like, I'm really having a hard time understanding the correlation.
CJ, because you're trying to really tie this down, but you got to look at it from somebody who's trying to make a determination off of somebody they don't really know. A man can tell you whatever. Behavior tells you everything. And if I see this man taking care of this dog, right?
Well.
And he's taking care of this dog.
Sorry.
he gonna have a step up. He got you by half a step, my boy. Period.
I can put on the show. I can put on the show when you here. That don't mean what I'm gonna do when the lights is off.
Okay,
so trust me, you can't fake being a good pet owner. You cannot fake being a good pet owner.
Like
it's the same as trying to fake being a good parent.
This is a girl that's seeing you from afar, so she don't know you. You ain't know this girl is even interested in you. But soon enough, she gonna watch you long enough. By the time you get ready to leave that pet park, you gonna know she watched you.
They gonna be looking at you. Do you got extra toys for your dog? Do you got dog treats? Do you got the little harness that go around your dog's body? Do they got a little rhinestone collar?
Do you got the green bag hanging up the back of his back pocket?
Wow.
So we comparing dating to having a pet.
Girls be scoping you out, and you don't even realize they be scoping you out.
All right, let's finish up the video. Let's finish up the video, guys. Do me a favor and mute your mics, please. And we're gonna finish this up. I know it's a little low. That's the video itself. There's nothing more I can do about it.
And that was me. Yep. I want to be a good Christian boy from a family. I want to take care of someone else, help someone out, and that's why I did what I did.
Men will gladly put their nuts on the chopping block out of like honor, prestige, you know, being that provider, being a man, just as they say, right?
Yeah.
Like be a man, you know, whatever. Like when women try to shame you. Women, however, don't adhere to that. They do what's best for them. Men are taught do what's best. Women are taught do what's best for you, girl. And we're out here to tell you guys, you need to date like a girl and you need to do what's best for you too. Because women don't put themselves in crazy positions like men will when it comes to dating and especially long-term relationships of raising another woman's children. Like she ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. The only way I've seen a woman go ahead and become a stepmother for a child that isn't hers is if the guy is extremely well off. If he has so much money that it's a no-brainer for her to deal with this guy because he's gonna be able to afford her unlimited security, then she'll do it. But if you're a regular dude, bro, you and her make the same amount of money, and you have a kid, you're a single dad, bro, and she's a single woman. She is definitely not going to sit there and tolerate you. She's going to go and deal with another dude.
I know girls that date rappers and football players that have kids like nothing. It's like, oh, it's fine. I don't care because they know that they got the bread to like support them anyway. So, you know.
So you guys got to date like a woman. You need to date women the same way they date us. They look at us as expendable commodities. You need to look at them as expendable commodities too. It's just that the mainstream media doesn't want you knowing this, and they silence guys like me that tell you to date this way. That's why I went viral on TikTok because I said treat women as expendable just like they treat us. It's just that no one in society talks about women treating us like expendable.
Thoughts? Casey, we'll start with you.
Yo, you're evil.
I try. I saw you working, so I had to throw you off, you know?
You thought my head was buried in my phone and I was
correct.
Bored.
You're welcome.
He will do that. He will get you.
Can you just ask me a question and let me answer that?
Can I ask you a question? Come on now. All right, I'll circle back to you. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Toya, were you not ready to?
No, I'm ready. Can you hear me? I think it's
you guys have a slight delay. That's why.
Oh, okay. I think that men do treat women expendable. I think that like 80% of the men are bullshit, and so it's like that I've come across that they're just bullshit. They like I don't understand what they're saying. Like are they in a warped time thing? Because what they're saying is not true. I know a lot of women that are single women and that have the world at their fingertips. They make decent money. I work with them and they have no problem dating somebody that has kids because that's not a deal breaker. What the deal breaker is how that person treats them and what that person is going to bring to the table most of the time emotionally over money. So there are women that are gold diggers and they're looking for just that monetary value that a man can bring. But majority of women are not. Majority of women are not going like, no, nigga, you got to make $1 million or otherwise fuck the kids. That's not really that's happening. Maybe that's just what they're seeing because in their world they see a lot of football players or whatever. But I know a lot of women, and especially with my career, and Nobody is doing that. Nobody is saying, no, it's too much work. It's the men that say it's too much work because the person has kids that they don't want to take on for the same reasons that CJ said. All of that superficial stuff that he was talking about, that's what they have a problem with because they can't see past that. A woman without kids or with kids can see past that. They can see the value in the person and not the disvalue and what they're going to be giving up or what they're going to be sacrificing with these kids in mind. So I don't think that they're correct. I think they're ass backwards. And that's probably why they changed their opinion further on, like you said.
CJ.
I mean, yeah, I agree. Why deal with all that mess and you don't have to? Well, you can get the exact kind of thing from a woman with no kids. So I agree with what they said right there initially. So I 100% agree and correct. And I'm not disagreeing with what they saying. I just feel like if you sign up for a certain situation, you get what you get. And it is what it is. But yeah, shout out to them.
How you go into it. If I go into a situation thinking that these fucking kids is a burden, then guess what? I'm gonna be irritated every time I gotta spend money. I'm gonna be irritated but if I go in with an open mind and see that there could be value, I can learn something. These kids can challenge me. I can the abundance of love. Like you don't understand how it feels
or I could just
when
get
somebody
that from a woman with no kids.
Okay, but that's a conditional love. She loves you conditionally.
All love is conditional. All love is conditional.
No.
Ooh, that is
all love is
kids
conditional.
love you. Kids love you unconditional. They don't know that you're buying them the name brand shit or not. Them kids love you. There's a time when they start to grow into condition and they start realizing what material things are. But kids love you unconditionally. They love you for what. There's parents that are fucking asshole parents and they still love their parent. All they want is their parent to love them back. That's all they want. They don't want Jordans. They don't want the best house or anything. All they want is that parents love because kids love unconditionally. And that's the difference is you will receive unconditional love. And when you receive the value of that and you understand the value of that, you won't look at the kids as a burden. You won't look at that.
And I can get unconditional love from a woman with no kids.
Okay. That's conditional. She loves you for what you can provide. She loves you for what you are doing. She loves you for how you fuck her. She loves you all for all of that. She loves you if you let her sit on your face. That's what she loves you for. She don't love you unconditionally. Because she can snatch all that shit back when you make her mad.
And so can a single mom. So can a single mom.
Casey,
so can a single mom.
Go for it, Casey. Hold on. Let's let Casey hop in. Casey, go for it.
Like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. No.
This is what you signed up for, Casey. You signed up for this.
Yeah, I don't like this.
This is war.
I mean, listen, I believe to each his own, and I think we have to be very honest with ourselves and what is it that we want before we enter into a relationship with somebody. Like, do not think about what others are going to say. How am I going to come off? Am I going to come off like an asshole if I say that I don't want a woman with kids? Or if I say I don't want a man with kids? Like, you have to be fair from the jump. Don't say, oh, I'm going to give it a try. It might work out, but deep down, that would not be your first choice. Like, I think that you should just be fair to yourself, be fair to the individual. Personally, I believe parents should date parents. And childless people date childless people. Problem solved. Like, that's just how my mind thinks, like, right now. Like, less complication, less things to consider, like, because there's an extra dynamic when there is a child involved. Because personally, I would feel some type of way if I'm dating a man and his child don't like me for whatever reason. I might not be a bad person, but the child just might not gravitate towards me for some unknown reason. And that's going to make me feel some type of way if the man I'm in love with or the man that I'm dating, his child don't welcome me. So to avoid all that mess, childless people date childless people, parents date parents. Problem solved.
But that's only in a perfect world. That's not reality.
I just want to tell you. Go ahead, John.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, John.
Some shit. I was about to say something. She's like,
the first time you've been caught off guard. Jeez, what's up, bro?
I was thinking it. But damn, she said it. Like, what the hell?
Are
I
you
was thinking I
agreeing
might
with
say something, and she was like, "Go ahead, John." What the? All right then. Shit. Nah, I mean, piggyback off of Casey. I mean, pick on you a little bit, Casey. You can. It depends on each person. Is different. Cause like, if you like, you can have a single person that's mature or maybe come from a blended home. Would be they're gonna see things different. You got to have that perspective. It's just, you see things differently, man. Because you when you talking about a blended family can be beautiful. I mean, it can be absolutely beautiful, and some things just don't matter. Like when you love that person, like this, right? All of this goes back to previous podcasts. If you think that it's easy to find something that you just click, then that's not how that works.
You can be alone for a long time.
You got to pick. You got to pick wisely. You got to choose. Like the next dude you date, probably not the one. The one after that, probably not it either. You gonna know because your situation, your physical appearance, your financial, everything is just gonna mix in and it'll be just fine. When you get that situation, that's your person. If you got to make adjustments, you got to make changes, you got to make physical alterations, you got alterations, you got to do all of these things, man. You're not being with the right person, and your situation with the children that will fall into place. Everything will fall into place because I'm not gonna say a single mom can't find a man. I'm never gonna say that. My mom was a single mom, and my stepdad, I picked him. And just so happened they fell in love with each other, and it was 30 years later they still married. And I'm crazy about this man. Like I call him dad. I ain't never called him by his name. One is not even allowed, but I always called him dad. My dad got killed before I was even born, so that's dad. Period. I got it. I mean, I got him when I was 15 years old. I'm 47 now. So however long, that's how long they've been. They got married a year later or 10 months later, something like that. June the 10th is their anniversary. And I love him, and I just don't believe that it don't work. I don't believe some of this stuff matters. Some of this stuff just don't matter. It's just petty betty bullshit, and that's just
I agree.
Just what it is.
But why is it immature that
note,
a man? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Well, no, I was gonna say, but why is it immature that a person decides not to date a person with kids because they don't want to? Why is that immature?
I mean, if that person, I mean, Casey agrees with you. Yeah, I mean, you just gonna kill it? Say, oh, she got kids? Nope.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
but you can be missing his blessing. Let him miss his blessing, and somebody else come along and pick it up.
I have. Oh no. Well, me personally, I have my blessing, and my blessing has no children. So I mean, it is what it is. But why is that immature though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I've heard several times that that's immature if you say you don't want somebody with kids and you choose not to date them. What's immature about knowing what you want early and being responsible and taking accountability early?
It's your reasons. Your reasonings are immature.
How?
You just have to date
what is immature about my reasoning? What is immature?
Because you have a higher value on monetary things, on money. Money is your driving force.
I
what
didn't even mention money one time. I said resources. I said resources.
And then what did I say? Yeah, resources. You said money. You said
no. You said money when you made the example about somebody contributing $80 and $20. I said resources. I said resources. You put the monetary gain on money. I said resources.
You're not going to have any resources if you
why use that as an example then? When you say I focus too much on money, but money matters. But money matters. Would you want to date a broke man? Would you want to date a man? Would you want a man to be a stepfather to your children who had no money at all?
Yes, because money is not important to me. You will be willing
to take care of another man who makes no money, who brings no money into the household, and also take care of his kids and your kids. You're willing to be the sole provider. Is that what you're saying right now?
Willing? She did.
I did.
My
that was actually a fact. She actually did that.
Job. He didn't work for 3 years. I had no problem doing that because at the end of the day, I knew if something really happened, he would do it for me.
That's not what maybe I should have been more clear. I should have been more clear. Would you take a man knowingly that he has nothing? That's a difference. And I should have said that. My apologies. Not versus when he had a job and lost it, but somebody who just doesn't want to bring no money, no resources to the table. Would you knowingly take on a man like that?
No, not me. With him coming with nothing, he doesn't have a job. He just lives with his mom, and he gonna move out from his mom's house and move. No, because that's a beta, and I don't do betas. So
because money matters. Money matters. Right.
No, it doesn't. That's not money. That's drive. That's character. That's the will to want to do something.
We don't want bums. We're not bringing bums into the house.
How you
right. Well, you need money not to be a bum.
And his money, he doesn't have to have.
Okay, so you're saying money is the monetary resources that you're bringing into the
Why
household.
do we like to act like? See, this is the problem. We act like money is not important. Like, why do we do this? Like, I think that is one of the biggest problems with our community because we act like money is important when half the black population is in the poverty line. What are we talking about? Money is very important.
But a two-income household is way better than one.
It's not the driving force. If I have there's a man that makes $100,000, and there's a man that only makes $40,000, but this man that makes $40,000 has way better character and treats me way better than the man that makes $100,000. I don't want his fucking $100,000. I'll take this $40,000 and help build him up to make $60,000 or $100,000. I'm not.
And that's another problem with a lot of these women. Y'all always want to build somebody up. No, a man is supposed to come ready. He's supposed to become ready. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What happens if he falls?
They're not supposed to expect you to grow or be better. You're not. Isn't the person that you're with supposed to?
A man, listen. A man. He can't fall. Anything can happen to anybody, but y'all trying to take a man prior to the relationship and build him up. Not y'all in particular, but a lot of these women like to get with bums and try to turn them into something that they're not. A lot of these women like to get pregnant. A lot of women like to get pregnant by these bums and then want to have the argument that, it's not about money. It's about love and all that other crazy stuff.
Money, just because somebody makes $100,000 doesn't mean they're not a bum. Money is not the whole determining factor if somebody is a bum or worth something or not.
I never said it was the whole determining factor. I never said it was the whole. I never said it was the whole. I said money is important. I said money is important, and I said it matters. I said money is important, and it definitely matters because who welcomes poverty? Nobody wants to be in poverty. Money definitely matters. I never said it was the whole thing.
It is not the end all. And I said it was immature for you because you, just like you're speaking right now about money, it is a determining factor for you in your decision making. It is not a determining factor for me in my decision making. Does it weigh in it? Yes. Does it have a little, is it in this process of elimination? Yes. But it's not a big determining factor. It's not the number one question I ask when I go on a date. The first thing, how much money
my girl don't work. So clearly money is not important to me. My woman don't work. So money is not important.
Hold on, CJ. Toya, can I ask you a question? So since men typically want to come into men step into a relationship expecting to be the provider. Mm-hmm. Do you think that men might look at money a little different than women do?
Yeah, I definitely think they do. Obviously. So,
do you think that plays into anything that CJ is saying?
I think it does. But he was asking why. I think that we kind of trailed off into a different branch. I think he was asking why is it deemed immature if a man doesn't, if he heard that a lot for himself, that he doesn't want to date somebody with kids. And I said it's because every time he brought up a reason why he didn't want to date somebody with kids, is with his resources, how much money he's putting in the house. If it's $20, if it's 20%, if it's this. And that's why I said it was immature for him. That's why we came to that conclusion, is because he's tying that burden in with a monetary value. And that's the immature part. Because money comes and money goes.
Makes no sense because it's still all about resources. It's all about resources at the end of the day, because you wouldn't knowingly date a bum. You wouldn't knowingly get with a man who has nothing. Because how can he help and provide in any way? Why are you trying to act like money don't matter? It makes no sense.
I never said it didn't matter.
Hold on. I just want to, just from knowledge and relationships to the panel. If money doesn't matter, yet you don't want a broke man, then what's your minimum acceptance for a man?
That's the thing. We all have standards. We don't want another child. We don't want to take care of another child.
He has to be self-stable. He has to be self-sufficient. If he's self-sufficient,
that's it.
Then he takes care of himself with ease. He's not getting payday loans and shit like that. As long as he's self-sufficient and taking care of himself,
he has to have some sort of money.
He's not robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's fine with me. He doesn't have to be driving a Maybach. He doesn't have to have millions of dollars in the bank. He doesn't have to be 1,000 a year. He doesn't have to be a millionaire. I have my own shit.
Does money matter?
Yes, it has a determining factor. It's not a determining factor. It's not something that's going to make. It's not going to break or make. If you come to the table with hella money and somebody comes to the table with a little less than me, or maybe substantially less than me, but their character is better than the person that has a lot of money, the way they treat people is better than the person that has a lot of money, I don't give a fuck about the money, because the money.
Would you date a man making $400 a month?
Money's not going to buy my love. None of that. That money's not going to do that. That money's not going to make me respect him as a man. How he carries himself is going to make me respect him as a man. That money's not going to make me see him as the head of my household. The way he carries himself and treats us is what's going to make me see him as the head of his household. Just because he doesn't make a lot of money doesn't make him the head. Doesn't make him important.
Would you date a man making $400 a month?
Hold on. John, you want to chime in on this?
Which, to piggyback off of what Toya said, we learned this in the previous podcast also when we were talking about being submissive, that a woman would submit to a real man. And it's the way he leads. And when she believes and trusts in him that he is competent to do so, then all women submit. But if you're an idiot, you can
has nothing to do with that.
She still won't commit. She's just going to spend your damn money and she's going to hang out with somebody like me. And then you'll see the difference. When I'm driving around in your shit that you paid for.
Thank you.
That's how that works. I'm just saying.
So would you date a man who makes $400 a month and he was satisfied with only making $400 a month?
Can I answer for you?
But is he self-sufficient? Can you have a livelihood off of $400 a month?
Is he? If that's what he was satisfied with, he lived with his mama. He was good with making $400 a month.
Realistically, that's not a livelihood. My Challenger car pays $400 a month.
Right, exactly.
That's not realistic.
So he needs to make more money, right?
Now you're just saying you're trying to make your point. And
no, I'm asking a simple question.
Let John back in. Let John back in. Hold on, Toya. Hold on.
There's an exception, and that answer, and I can answer that for you. If you're a graduate student and in a doctoral program, or if you're a medical student, you have shit. You don't make no money. But I promise you, once we're finished with those programs, we double most motherfuckers' money. So yeah, she'll fucking go.
I'm getting my doctorate too, and I still make a lot of money. So what? I mean, I don't know what that means.
I got you, but you ain't making 400,000, nor is that near your cap.
I will be though.
Oh well, yeah, I get you.
I will be.
My point. That's my whole point. A woman will date somebody if he's treating her good and he has. That's what we call potential. That's real potential. He's actively in it. That's what he's doing. Just like a lawyer. A lawyer is broke as fuck when they first graduate. They don't make no damn money. As soon as they graduate, they don't have shit. Some of them sleep in their cars. You can't judge no damn book like that. You don't. If he don't tell you you're a lawyer, you missing out. But then the next thing you know, his shit picks up. He get hired by a firm. He gets a salary. Now he's making $100,000+ a year. Same with the doctor. He gets a little shitty residency salary. She gonna wait on him for a while, but I promise you, they don't let go of them. They stick around and they suffer through that. Same thing with graduate students. They have clinicals and all these APA requirements they have to go through, such as myself. But I mean, I trade because I just don't want to work for nobody else. But I lived on a very fixed stipend for a very long time, and it was only one woman that never asked me shit about no money, and that's the one I'm gonna marry. She ain't asked me nothing about no damn money. We ain't talk about no damn money. We just enjoyed each other, and here we are. Now she's gonna reap the benefits after I graduate. It's just like she's reaping some benefits now. I'm just saying, money
is now.
So can I talk now?
Yeah. Go for it, Casey.
Right. So I mean, we have to not step on each other's corn, right? And we have to respect each other's opinion and preferences. Some people prefer to date people with kids. Some prefer to not. Everybody has their own value. Everybody brings something to the table.
I will say this. I think even though, the discussion is getting a little loud, I think everyone here feels pretty respected and
No, I would never disagree.
All right.
I love Toya and I love Luna, even though I disagree. But I love them anyway. And John and all y'all.
I respect
you. I'm not saying
going back and forth with my popcorn.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm not.
I know
it's implying that.
She just talk loud. Our whole family talk loud.
All right, go, Casey.
No. I was not implying that there was any disrespect. I'm just saying at the end of the day, we're humans and, we have our feelings and we have to be just conscious of the fact that some things can be a trigger point, for others. And we just have to understand that we're not going to always agree on everything. And I think we should understand that people have their preferences. Like, this is what gets me. And I talk about this on my channel, that we are entitled to our preferences. Like, you don't have to shame somebody because they have their own preference and maybe you do not fit into that category. It's fine. There is somebody out there for you. So, I just think that, we should just be true to ourselves and just respect people and their choices and their decisions. Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay if a man doesn't want to date a woman with kids. There are guys out there who don't mind. They really don't mind at all. And also, we have to also understand. We have to understand that, we have to kind of watch sometimes how we come off, because we can come off a bit arrogant too sometimes. Like, we have to remember that we all start from the bottom. We were all at the bottom, and sometimes we feel like...
Now we're here.
I like it. Right? We all started from somewhere, and sometimes it just take one thing to wipe us out. One thing. So I always believe that we should stay humble no matter what. Correct. And just stay true to yourself and just do what you want to do and don't watch anybody else. Don't pay anybody else any mind. Just focus on what you want. You want a man with kids? Fine. You want a man that don't have kids? That's your preference. Nobody has any right to shame you into what you believe.
I like that.
I don't think I would.
Whoa, Luna. We're gonna wrap this up, okay? To the last point. All right, last point.
Okay.
Last question to the panel: can you ever be ready to be a parent?
No.
Luna.
Oh, definitely.
No. I think you
No. Let Luna start this. I want her to start this off.
Hey, watch her and CJ say the same shit.
Go ahead, Luna.
I think you're ready to have a parent. I think at some point in your life you hit your clock. It's natural for not every one of us, not everybody in the world wants children, but it's natural for most people in the world to hit their time in their life where they're like, all right, I'm ready to have children. There's people out there planning to have children, and you can prepare yourself for children. You can ask people who are already parents. You can go to parenting classes. You can join support groups. There's a lot of resources out there. If you don't feel like you're ready to be a parent, there's a lot of resources out there that you can learn about to actually feel like you can become a better parent or have the knowledge to be a good parent.
I think you can be ready for what your perception or what you think it is to be a parent. But you don't really know what it is to be a parent until you experience it.
I know kids are annoying as shit.
Hold on, Luna. Let her finish.
You can be ready for what you think it is to be a parent. Yeah, to prepare for all the things that they tell you in books and stuff to be a parent. But that's not it. That's not being a parent. And there's so much gray area. That's not in those books. That's not in those support groups. That's not in that you will never be ready for until you experience it. Because no book I read, I was going to pull gum out of my son's ass. No book told me that. No book told me that. And I was like, I thought gum just like pooped out. But it didn't. So you can be ready for what you think parenthood is going to be. But you're not ready.
Was it like spaghetti? Like, what are we talking about?
It just like kept pulling, and it was just gum. You know how what gum goes like this?
Like
He just ate hell gum. And you know, we don't digest gum. It's not digestible in our body.
And I
so
thought
it
that was
just came out.
I may need to go to the doctor then.
I thought that was a myth. Gum really does not get digested, and
it passes through your system as is.
Yes, and I thought that was a myth, and I learned it was not. So I think people can be ready for what they think it is to be a parent, but not really what it actually is, because there's so much gray area in being a parent that you don't even realize, or you don't even see, that people don't even talk about, or you're not going to learn until you actually experience it.
I think one time I was watching a 3-month-old that literally got shit up to its shoulders and like cut clothes and all, literally shit up to its shoulders. And I literally had to peel off the onesie all the way
But
off.
that's not even it. Like, that's the stuff that's in books. That's the funny stuff that you think.
That was not funny. That was not funny at all. Because you gotta stop them from touching their face and their eyes. You got shit on his fingertips.
That's funny. Boopy took shit and rubbed it in like lotion. That's the funny stuff. No, they don't tell you about the postpartum depression. They don't tell you about that male shit where your milk won't come out. They don't tell you about how the father's gonna feel when shit ain't going right and they feel like they can't do nothing. They don't tell you about all those sleepless nights. They don't tell you about any of that. Those things are not there. Those things are felt and learned when you're in it. They don't tell you about that. You think you're going to get the baby, put that motherfucker on here and breastfeed. It don't work like that. It does not work like that. But nobody tells you that.
Some babies some babies
at all.
Damn titty.
They don't tell you that. Like they don't tell you. I thought, because when I had my daughter, I thought, it's going to be a breeze because this will be my 4th kid and I'm fine. You know, even though the other kids are grown, I still remember it. I know what I'm gonna do. Everything's going to be great, man. Completely different. It was like being a new parent all over again. So and I thought I was ready. I'm a vet. This is number 4, but no, you think you could be ready in your mind for what you think it's going to be, but not what it really is until you get there.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Casey, what do you think?
I think yes. I'm gonna say that yes, you can be ready to be a parent to a point. I mean, all those other stuff are just things that you have no control over. You cannot predict the future. Right? You cannot predict what's going to happen when you do become a parent. But should you have the foundation in place? Yes, I think you can be psychologically ready, emotionally ready, financially ready to have a child. And until you feel like you're at that place, I think you should wait. There's contraceptive, right? There's all kinds of contraceptives out there, and I think we should practice them before we go into start having children, because it's like, this is a topic that's so passionate for me. I hate when we bring children into the world and we bring them into circumstances that they didn't ask for, right? We weren't psychologically ready to become moms or dads, right? And we subject the children to these circumstances, and they just grew up to be very dysfunctional and deranged children because they weren't brought up in the right household. So I just think that we should wait until the basics are in place. And I think the basics would be shelter. You know, the resources are definitely there to accommodate the child, and you are mentally sound, you are ready, you're excited about having this child, you know, and until you have that, you're not ready. And if you have that, then yes, I think you're ready, and all the other things will fall in place.
CJ.
Yeah. I agree with Toya with the beginning part of her statements, as far as from a nurturing aspect as far as the things that could go wrong with the child, I feel like you can never actually prepare for that because you don't know what's going to happen. But I do agree with Casey in the point that I do believe, and I'm looking at it from a male perspective, from a single male perspective. I've gone out of my way and I've been very intentional on not having any kids because I know that for a fact it takes money to raise a child. If you look at the statistics, to raise a child in a normal household, it takes $250,000 per child. And that's statistically. I've always been the type of man that never, ever wanted to bring a child into this world and they are poor or they are in poverty or anything like that. I wanted my kid to have the finest of everything. That's just how I've always been. So as far as money and being prepared, I do think that you can prepare. I'm very intentional. I don't want children, but if I had children right now, it wouldn't be an issue from a financial component. Now, I do realize money isn't everything, but it is definitely important. It is so many children out there that are in poverty, that can only have one pair of clothes, one pair of shoes, all kind of stuff, getting donations. We have all these WIC programs and all these programs to help take care of these children. When I feel that, and I know in certain situations you can't control, that's out of your circumstances, but I feel like for the most part, a lot of us are just reckless when it comes to having kids. A lot of us don't want to take any accountability, and it's from somebody who has been accountable for my actions from the very beginning. I knew at a young age that I did not want to have children young, so I've been very intentional. People who don't want kids don't have them, point blank, period, for the most part, other than those circumstances where the R word is involved. But that's how I feel about it.
CJ, you don't want kids at all? Or you just don't want them now?
No, I don't want them at all.
Oh, why? May I ask?
We'll keep that for the last. We'll do that in after hours. All right.
Okay.
John.
No. Can't never be ready to have no parent, be a parent. No, you can't. You can't. I'm with Toya, bro. It's a lot of, every circumstance is different, bro. You can plan, you can save money, you can do all these damn things, bro. But it's shit that how do you know how much the money to save? What if you have a child with special needs? I promise you ain't got enough money saved. So you can never be ready to have a child. You can't. You do the best you can. You are ready when you became sexually mature to give birth and to make a child. That's as ready as you're gonna get, and that's just the way that works. Period. You're never gonna be really prepared to be a parent, and every child is different. Each one of them had their own personality.
And on that note, all right, that was pretty good. Everyone's last closing statement. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around the panel one last time. Everyone shout out your channels, your YouTube channels.
Black
Wall
Street Trading LLC. Come hit me up on YouTube so you can fire your boss.
All right.
Toya. On Instagram is Toy Smurf. And you can find me on there. My sister.
I'm Luna. You can find me on Instagram at _ taking over the world _ between each word. And I also have a YouTube channel where my poetry is at Lady Luna, LADEYLUNA.
Okay. All right. Casey.
Hey guys, you can find me on YouTube at Kaci TV. Also on IG as Kaci Stush. Please go check out my channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. There's a lot of interesting stuff over there. Just go check it out.
Awesome. And last but not least, CJ Kyles. You muted, bro. You muted.
Oh, here it is.
What's good, everybody? It's your man, CJ Kyles. Listen, I got a youtube.com / the CJ Kyles. I am a nurse. I talk about how to get money as a nurse and in the medical field. 95% of my channel is dedicated to that. And I will ask you to come over there and subscribe to get some of the game. We are almost at our next goal of 1,500 subscribers. So I need y'all to come over there and make that possible. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Everything is at the CJ Kyles. And we just show you how we travel, how we live a good life, and just do the thing over there. So I'm all about being the best version of yourself, and come holler at me.
Awesome. So guys, this has been a great video. Obviously, hang on till after the credits. I got a couple little YouTube tips and tricks that I've learned that I'd like to share with you guys as well. So hold on, and I'm going to play the video now. Work with me, people. Work with me.